It's cold, man. It's cold. It's cold as shit outside today. I had to shovel a bunch of snow this morning. Hello? Hello, Vix. Just chilling. I got like slightly better relics for my Himiko. I ran a Himiko Herda team with Ling Shaw on the second side instead. And I max cleared Pure Fiction. But my Himiko is like hella scuffed. Like, look at this Himiko, man. 31 crit rate. It's so bad. But it was at least enough to max clear it first try. Ling Shaw's a cheat code in that shit. I got really lucky with Ling Shaw. Hello, Abby. Hello, Shadow. Is there anyone else? I mean, it's only Himiko. Himiko's the only one that I have that has like shitty relics. Yeah. Does Herda need her signature? Who? The Herda? It's a good quality of life. It gives a skill point back. So if you're running into skill point issues like consistently, then I'd pull her light code. Like, just pull her E0S0. Try her out like in game, in the end game. If you're having problems with like skill points, I'd pull the light code. I would. However, if you're not having issues, I think the E1 is better. Because the E1 is a much larger overall damage increase. Finally cleared MOC2 yesterday. Took me a while. Nice, Shadow. I think if I ran, right? Because I used my Dot team, but then I used my Acheron team. I tried to use my Acheron team with Fei Xiao. I think if I used my Acheron team with Aventurine on Trend, it probably would clear like an entire like 2 cycles faster. But I only have one Trend light cone. Like, I don't even know how I got it. But I think I have one Trend light cone and it's at like level 0. Yeah, right here. I literally only have one. I should probably put this on my Aventurine in the future when my Acheron just does better than my Fei Xiao, I guess. If that ever happens again. No, that's true, Abby. Yeah. Like, I watched Mr. Pokey's video, and he literally said nothing. Like, that entire video was literally for nothing. I don't understand why he made it. Like, I made sure to actually listen to him, but he spent almost the entire video just gaslighting people into believing that the way he wrote out his tweet, like, we read it wrong. When he just fucking typed it out very, very badly. And he was trying to say something else. Hi, hello, Castle. Hello, I saw that Castris might be able to drain HP, so she could technically be paired with My Day. I do not think it would be optimal, though. I see. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, you could be right. Mr. Pokey, yeah, like the whole drama about the power creep thingy. So in his tweet, he says power creep only exists if the player makes stupid pull decisions, right? So it implies that there is no power creep if you aren't retarded. And then he changed like his perspective on it. Like in the video, he was arguing that that's not what he was trying to say, and that people were like on purpose gaslighting him. But he just said it wrong. Like what he meant was that people who pull retardedly are the only ones who are actually gonna feel power creep. Like he should have just said it like that. Are the My Day animation leaks coming out on Monday or Tuesday? I'm not sure. It's usually whenever the patch like fully comes out. So I'd guess between both of those, but I'm not completely sure. Like I believe last patch We literally got like in-game leaks a day before the new patch dropped. So that's another thing as well. Sup, Cappy Man? Hello, Cam. What, really? Jeez, yeah. Do you cope for WUA beta in 12th of January? I don't really care about WUA's beta, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm just not interested currently in, what's it called? Phoebe or Brant. And I actually care more about Shorekeeper on that rerun. Yeah, you'd probably run Sunday with My Day, since I believe all of Sunday's, like, buffs are just damage bonus and crit. So he doesn't give any useless attack like Robin or Sparkle, which is makes him the best option in the first place. But then on top of that, he's probably going to want energy, right? Like, let's be honest, he's probably going to want energy for his ult. And what's it called? He's imaginary, so he also helps with that as well. I'm not going to lie, we really need a new Harmony to replace Sunday. Like, we need it badly at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, first Herda, he's best in slot with the Herda. He's best in slot with Aglaya. He's best in slot with My Day. Now he's best in slot with Casters. Please give us a new Harmony. It is not like... I'd much rather take another Sunday, please. Just give us another Harmony at this point. No more DPS getting stronger. Just release like 2 Harmonies at once or something. I guess I'll just farm. I used a little bit of Trailblaze power left on Himiko's. I think it's like here, if I remember correctly. No? Never mind. It's not that one either. There it is. No, genuinely, Shark. I don't know why people thought Sunday was going to be another Sparkle situation, especially with how broken like his Eidolons and Lycone are. Like, you know you're broken when you're the best hyper carry support in the game, and it's not even for like the archetype that you're supposed to support the most. Like, Aglaya's not even out yet, and he's best in slot over Sparkle and Bronya in basically every single team. Will Tribby buff Blade? I mean, technically, Tribby buffs literally anyone, because currently the only buff she gives is 30% res pen on skill, which applies to any team in the game. But her damage bonus and defense shred only applies to her own attacks. Dioru, I truly do think it is possible, yeah. Like, the same way Sparkle was a bit of a gimmick Harmony to, like, fully support Dill, I'm gonna be honest, Tribby is looking like a gimmick Harmony to support Fei Xiao and the Herda. Like, I would not be surprised if there's, like, a Harmony that comes 2 or 3 patches after that does what Tribby does, but better. Wait, low key. Oh wait, never mind. It has to be attack boots or speed boots. Okay. Can't get past MOC 11. I'm crying. I'm not gonna lie. I was struggling on MOC 11 for a second because I haven't fought Sam in the end game in like fucking forever. And I completely forgot how to get rid of, like, whenever he goes into, like, that type of flame mode where you heal for nothing. I didn't know you had to spam skill points. So it took me, like, 2 tries, and then I actually read the text that popped up on my screen. And I was like, oh. So I had to spam skill over and over and over again, even if it was, like, useless. Because my characters were getting so close to dying with Link Shaw on that team. It probably would have been fine if I just put Aventurine instead, but Aventurine's always on my Fei Xiao team. That's kind of the issue with running a Fei Xiao and an Acheron team. They both want Aventurine as the main sustain. It's a bit annoying for me. This could be good. Maybe an attack scaling healer, possibly. I feel like Triby's problem is just her numbers, so devs can make her broken whenever they want. Yeah. Like, an E6 Triby will probably do DPS numbers. But an E0 Triby, like, all the leakers are saying E0 Triby doesn't really do much at all in terms of damage. So it's mostly just a gimmick. Like, you get stacks for the Herda, you regen energy for the Herda, or you generate stacks for Fei Xiao. Like, that's about it. Those are the only two people who can actually, like, benefit from her over, like, other harmonies. At least currently. Like, there could also be someone in the future, but, like, we also speculated the same when Sparkle released, and then there was no one else in the future who was SP hungry, so. Someone zero cycled with Blade? I mean, yeah, you can zero cycle with Blade if you get, like, an E1 S1 Sunday and an E1 S1 Robin. Like, I literally see it all the time. Like, all these zero cycles are incredibly high relic investment. The supports almost always have like 160, 170 speed. They have insanely high levels of crit damage. And they have very, very high cost investment. Like, it's not a good comparison to use. No, exactly, Andrina. Yeah, exactly. Like, E2 Robin makes speed tuning significantly easier as well because she gives a 16% speed buff to everyone on the field. Like, it's a completely different story when when you can actually afford to get like Eidolons and Lycones for the supports. The issue is if you're like a free to play, right? And you want to go like E1 S1 Sunday, E1 S1 Robin, to invest that cost into those characters, you would probably have to like skip a patch or two, right? So you skip a patch or two, you never pull a single new DPS, you just keep investing every single time the harmonies rerun. That's the only way you get the same amount of cost. Only way. Unless you get incredibly lucky, but that's like unrealistic, right? Like, I want to give you guys an example of one of the few times I've ever been lucky in this game. So in 2.5, when Fei Xiao's banner came around, I was able to get Fei Xiao, and I was confident that I wouldn't be ling to get Lingsha. I didn't really have enough pulls for it. However, I did one. I'm not even trolling. One single pull on Lingsha's banner for fun, but I lost, right? Like, I lost it, but that means it only took me one pull to get a free guaranteed. So that was able to let me, like, guaranteed get Lingsha no matter what. Like, that's the only time I've ever been that lucky. No, I agree, Draco. I think that's what most people should do these days. I think, like, within the last two patches of, like, an arc of patches, for example, like 2.6, 2.7, like that, you skip those two patches, and then you just pull the 3.x units. And then you have enough pulls to go for, like, an Eidolon or a Lycone. It makes life significantly easier. But then again, the issue that comes with this is that you're no longer pulling for the characters you like, but you're pulling for meta characters so that you can just last longer. That's kind of the issue, right? Like, these gacha games, the main appeal of them is character designs, and obviously they all appeal to different people. You want to play with a character that you like the most. So it sucks when you have to, like, get rid of a character you really like because they're no longer performing good enough in the end game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but there's nothing else to do in this game point. Like, that's the issue, in my opinion. Like this isn't like an open world game like Wu or Genshin where you can roam around, you can do chess, blah 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 like that. Like there's nothing else to do in this game the second you finish a patch's storyline. There is only the end game and logging on every single day for a month and a half to farm relics. Like there's literally nothing else. There's a lot less entertainment in a turn-based game than there is in an open world one. No, Kem, that does apply though, Kem. That does apply, right? It's just that it won't apply to everyone, right? Like this is the issue. Like when you try to generalize people off of like something, like it just never works because there's always some people who just won't do the exact same thing or don't feel the same way, right? Like me personally, I love My Day and I love Castris. So I'm gonna go for both of them, despite whether or not they're meta or not, right? They just happen to be meta. I just got lucky, right? That's it. But like Jing Yuan, for example, Jing Yuan's my favorite male design in the game, aside from Sunday. But I'm never gonna pull for him. Why would I ever pull for Jing Yuan? That's just breaking my account. Yeah, I am gonna go for Sunday. I'm pretty confident they will rerun Sunday on Castris's banner, and so I will pull for Sunday and Castris on the exact same patch. Yeah, that too, Cherry. That too. If you already have like elemental coverage, that as well. I'm not gonna swipe for My Day. I'll have like 250 pulls by the time My Day comes around. I'll be completely fine. And currently, I'm at a what's it called? I'm at a 40 pity guarantee because I lost my 50-50 on Sunday in 2.7. So I lost a Himiko right here. 40 pity guarantee. It's not gonna take that much for me to get My Day. Yeah, I'm skipping the entirety of 3.0. I already have Robin. I don't really care about getting her E1. If it really is that detrimental, I'll get it on later for like, let's say she's good with Feign on or something, then I'll get it then. I don't think Casters or My Day are really going to use Robin like that, so there's no reason for me to go for it right now. Doesn't the reset happen with Casters? Do you mean like anniversary? I'm pretty sure Casters' banner is the anniversary in 3.2. I no, My Day does not have a summon. The leakers have not said he has a summon at all, and he's destruction, so I don't think he'd have a summon anyways. I'm just getting Herda unless I get insanely lucky. Then I'll either get Lingshaw or E1 Jade. Yeah, Lingshaw is looking like a pretty big one. I'm not gonna lie. I was originally saying that Lingshaw might be the best possible healer for My Day because it makes sense. She's just the best healer in the game. But now that we know that My Day prefers to have like imaginary characters on his team, and that in the future we're gonna get a 4-star sustain who can be his best in slot, I truly think like you put Luocha in that 4-star on My Day's team, and you put Lingshaw on Castris' team. That's probably like the best case scenario until Hyacine releases, right? Once Hyacine releases, it's a different story. You can just use Lingshaw and Hyacine probably. Lingshaw 100%. There's no reason to wait for Luocha. Please don't pull for Luocha on a rerun. Just get Lingshaw or wait further for Hyacine. Hyacine, yeah. Hyacine, like 99% chance she's in abundance. Her description is being a healer. There's no other way. They did say we were getting no preservation units in 3.x, but they did also say we would get like 1 or 2 abundances at least. So Hyacine should be somewhere in like 3.3, 3.4, somewhere around there. No, Hyacine is not a 4-star. The 4-star is a different person who's supposed to be good with My Day. No, but Shadow Games, like, we are confirmed. Like, we're almost guaranteed getting at least 1 or 2 sustains in 3.x. And there's no way we just go the entirety of 3.x without us, like, especially with these HP scalers. Like, there's literally zero way they don't release a sustain in like 3.3 or 3.4 around there. It wouldn't make any sense. Unless literally like the two abundances that are supposed to come out in 3.x literally come out at the same time in one patch at like the very end. Like, that's probably not going to happen. No, we don't have any leaks on a Hyacine. Hyacine is too far away currently. She's either 3.3 or probably around 3.4, which is Phaenon's patch. Free-to-pay Lycone option for Ling Sha. I'm pretty sure I'm just using the one that... does it give healing bonus or something? Yeah, I use this one currently. This would also probably be the best to put on Ling Sha, like, if you don't have her signature with My Day. Because outgoing healing with this E1, absolutely, like, it helps them massively if you have this Lycone. Let me see if there's any other ones. Is the break one any good? No, the break one doesn't really matter, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think this is just the best one for My Day and Castris because it has good healing output. I don't think you'd use the Gallagher Lycone at all. It's just break effect and it only applies to her own max HP. The 24% outgoing healing is like way better in my opinion. Especially if you get My Day Z1, which gives him what's it called? Like healing goes into his blood pool. No, but phase. This is different though. Like this isn't like My Day has 25,000 health, and his HP drain is apparently off the charts according to leakers. They said Luocha wouldn't be good enough to sustain him alone. Like the only one who can sustain is Ling Sha, so you'd probably need this to like consistently sustain him 100%. Like this isn't just any HP scaler like Blade. Like this is an HP scaler who's probably gonna be like draining thousands and thousands like over and over and over again, and he's at 25k HP. Like there's no way you can just like normally sustain him. Maybe Castris. Castris might be fine to sustain with like the Gallagher Lycone, but My Day 100% won't. Can you explain what FOMO is in Honkai Star Rail? It's just fear of missing out. That's what it means. Fear of missing out. So, let's say you're really sick of this fucking game. You're sick of the power creep. You're sick of all of it, and you've decided you want to quit the game. And then, literally, you see like leaks or a drip market of a new character releasing in the next patch, and they have a really cool design, and you don't want to miss out on them because you really like them. That's what will keep you playing the game over and over again. Or Robin. Let's say Robin is announced on a rerun after you've been struggling in the end game for a long time without her, or you pulled the follow-up comp, right? You're obviously going to want to keep playing and then save up Jade so you can pull Robin and clear the end game better. That's basically what FOMO is. You just have a fear of missing out on like a really good character, either meta-wise or because you just like the character's design. And that keeps you playing the game despite how shitty it feels to play it. How are you doing, Gabby? Good, Valk. How about you? No, but Draco, he consumes HP. Like, it's not just him losing HP to enemies. He himself consumes, like, a massive amount of his own HP. Like, that's probably going to be the bigger, like, deal breaker. It's not going to be being able to sustain him so that enemies don't kill him. It's going to be sustaining him well enough so that he does enough damage from draining, right? Because he scales off of his max HP during the fight. Like, that's how he gets the most damage bonus possible for his attacks. So you have to keep him at as high of an HP as you possibly can to get the most damage out of him. Yeah, but at 1 HP, Broven. Like, if he dies to a fatal attack, he revives at 1 HP. That's it. I'm not sure, DJ. I'm not sure. I'll probably skip because of Castris. That's understandable. No, it's not going to be difficult at all, Abby. As I said before, by my day's patch, I'll have 250 pulls. And by the end of my day's patch going into the Castris one, I would have already obtained like 300 limited pulls, right? And I'm currently on a 40 pity guarantee, meaning on average pull pity, I'd only have to use 40 of those limited pulls to get my day. And then I have like 260 pulls left to get a Sunday and a Castris. I'll be completely fine. No, I didn't get Fugi 1. I didn't even get Fugi at all. I was considering that, Draco. Like, I literally put that in my community. I said, like, a Luocha and the upcoming 4-star who's supposedly leaked to be the best sustain for him. Like, that would probably be the best combo alongside Sunday. Like, I imagine, like, you guys remember that leaked team we got for, like, My Day, Castris, and the double sustain team? I do not think that was for Castris. I genuinely think that that was a testing team for, what's it called? That was a testing team for My Day, not for Castris. Because this entire time I've been wondering, like, how the fuck, like, why would you use Luocha on My Day's team when you have Lang Sha? Like, why are the leakers saying he's a good option? But now we know, like, an imaginary character increases his buffs, or, like, increases his healing. Could you repeat your poll plans? So I currently have 80 limited polls, right? By the time 3.0 hits, I'll have around 85. We're getting like 110 polls in, what's it called, 3.0. I'll be at damn near 200 already. I'm not pulling Tribby on the first side, so that's like another 50 polls, meaning I'm at like 250 polls the second My Day's banner hits. I'm at a 40 pity plus a guarantee. So 40 of those pulls goes towards My Day. I'm probably going to get like 20 or 30 back from the second half of the patch anyways. And then I go into Castris' banner with like 280 pulls. And I'm able to get Sunday and Castris. Since I already have Ling Sha, I really don't have to worry about pulling her. So the Ling Sha is going to go on the Castris team. The Sunday is going to go on the Castris team. And I'll have to figure out My Day. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have to figure something out for him. I'm not getting Castris with her signature. I'd rather get Sunday with his signature if possible. Sunday with his signature is a way bigger buff than like anything else in this game, man. No, I don't care about Herda or Glea. They're both getting instantly power crept, and I don't like design wise. They don't exactly interest me all that much. It'd just be a complete waste. Like genuinely, like this is kind of what Pokey said. This is what like Pokey was trying to say about people, like bad polling decisions. This is kind of one of them. Although you'd only know about this if you followed leaks, which kind of goes against his whole thing because he's like a Hoyo partner and all that stuff. But like, why would you ever pull for Aglaya when Castris is the exact same like path? She's as well a Remembrance DPS, and she's as well going to use Remembrance MC and Sunday. So if you pull in a Glea and you pull a Castris trying to run those two together, you're going to struggle. Because you have to put Sunday on one of those two teams. 100% you should follow leaks. Like Pokey doesn't say it, right? Like I'm pretty sure he's partnered with Hoyo, so he does not say it. But I feel like any content creator, if they could openly say it without it hurting them sponsors, like anyone would recommend you to follow leaks in these gacha games. They genuinely save you and tell you like how good a character might be weeks and even months before they actually like make any guides about it. Like the Herd and Aglaia have been leaked for like 5 weeks at this point or some shit. Like no, I know, but he pretends not to know leaks and doesn't ever mention knowing about leaks. Because it'd lose his sponsorship if he mentioned it. I'm using it as an example, Norris. Like what he said. Where he said, if you make stupid pull decisions, that's the only reason you feel power creep. This would apply to pulling Aglaia when Castris is releasing in 3.2. Because they're both the exact same path, but Castris is the anniversary DPS unit. They're both probably going to use the exact same supports as well. I think that's fine, Puya. I think they just can't, like, actually make any genuine, like, their own videos about it. Like, they can't advocate for it on their own channel, basically, I'm pretty sure. Pokey's statement is terrible. It's done with hindsight. Even if you were to... So, the main advice Pokey gave for it was... What's it called? He said to invest in one team and not try to horizontal invest. Which, by the way, it's actually the opposite in this game. Horizontal investing is better. But let's say you were to take that seriously. Let's say when Ruan Mei came out, right? You go for Eidolons and Lycones on the dot team. You go for E1, S1, Ruan Mei for your dot team. Acheron releases. What the fuck? You see? You see the issue? Like, you can't even make the argument that, oh, just hard invest in one team throughout the entirety of the patches. Like, that's almost always worse than horizontal investment. Like, if you look at an E2 S1 Dill these days, he's arguably worse than an E0 S1 Acheron. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. And an E2 S1 Fei Xiao is as well better than an E2 S1 Acheron. An E2 S1 Herda is better than an E2 S1 Fei Xiao. It just keeps going. You know what I'm saying? Like, vertical investment just doesn't really work. I'm not going to lie. It's also very cost heavy and assumes that you, like, win every 50-50 when you pull for important copies on a character. No, you wouldn't, Albie. Because if you're free to play, you need two different teams, right? So if you're hard investing into only one team, your second team is going to be significantly weaker than the first one, right? Like, this is literally the issue I have currently, where my Fei Xiao team is miles ahead of any other team I have on my account because I did not get Zhao Q for my Acheron. Like, my Fei Xiao team is just miles stronger than anyone else on my account. Because I went all in for Fei Xiao and her comp, as well as Aventurine, but my Acheron doesn't have a Zhao Q, so she's underperforming. And I, like, skipped Zhao Q so I could get fucking, what's it called, Robin and Fei Xiao and Ling Sha. No, exactly. I'll be like in the current endgame, you literally do not need Fei Xiao. Like, Fei Xiao is really not all that crazy in the current endgame unless you have like incredibly high investment in like E1s on your Robin, right? Like an Acheron with Zhao Q will probably consistently clear faster than your Fei Xiao, without a doubt. Yeah, but you aren't everyone, Exodius. Like, you aren't everyone. Like, it's always subjective. You could win more 50-50s than I do. Like me, for example, I've lost most of my 50-50s and lost every single 75-25. So my experience is automatically worse than like the average low spender. Were you running as the 4 slot in the Facial team? March 7th, because I don't have Topaz. So I'm using March 7th currently. And I only recently got Moe's. However, I'm currently farming relics for my Himiko so she can perform better in Pure Fiction. So I don't have to worry about pulling a unit in Pure Fiction right now. Right? I know Moe's is probably a better option. I just don't have relics for him currently. And I'm farming for Himiko instead right now. And then once 3.0 hits, I also have to farm, what's it called? My Day and Caster's his relic set. The next banners are the Herda, and then the second side is Aglaya. No, I already have E2, yeah. So the reason I never built Moe's is because I only recently got another copy of him in the last banner. Or sorry, not the last banner. You know that housing event that Honkai Star Rail did that had the 4-star character selector? So I had an E1 Moe's. And I got an E2 Moe's after that event. No, my Acheron is E1. So she gets like an extra 16% crit rate. But I'm going to be honest, my Acheron's relics are so ass that this E1 doesn't even matter. So I'll show you my relics now. This is actually good, right? Like, don't get me wrong, this is good. This is absolutely mid. Like, this is one of the worst body pieces possible. The boots aren't that good. This as well. There no double crit stats, only one roll into crit damage. And then this is pretty insane. But like 2 or 3 of my Acheron's relics are pretty ass. So I lose the value of the E1 because I haven't farmed to min-max my relics on my Acheron. No, the lightning orb is genuinely a curse. The lightning orbs are a curse in this game, man. I think a while ago, I leveled up like 10 or 15 different lightning orbs and they all just failed. Did you farm for her? Who, Acheron? Isn't it obvious? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't have the best relics possible, but like, I'd say it's average. Like with the E1, this is what, like 72 crit rate? 72 crit rate with 216% crit damage. Maxed out traces. Isn't attack better for Acheron? I'm pretty sure it is, but I don't even think I have a better attack orb for my Acheron, is kind of the thing. Yeah, like, I literally don't have one. There are some lightning damages here that I could probably level up, but that's it. Yeah, I know it's not bad. I know it's 100% not bad. But the thing is, like, it's not bad, but they're still performing, like, way, way worse in the end game than they used to, right? I mean, it'll probably happen, like, later on in the 3.x patches I'll be. Like, even currently, E2 Acheron is no longer, like, the strongest E2 in the game. Like, as much as people hate on Firefly, Firefly has one of the most broken E2s in the game without a single doubt. Like, without a single fucking doubt. More Zhao issue? Yeah, like, the biggest, like, problem with Acheron is if you don't have Zhao. Like, worse than not having Eidolons, worse than not having the Lycone is not having Zhao. But I just do not want to spend pulls on Zhao. I mean, even now, like, I just can't spend on Zhao, right? Because we don't know when his rerun is going to be. But I don't want to, because I'd literally only be pulling him for my Acheron. Like, that's the only reason. Like, I'd rather just pull a new 3-point-X DPS instead. That'd probably just be a better overall value. No, I don't think it's good, Rana. You know what's funny? So there were people saying that because my dot premium team did as good as my Facial team, that meant power creep didn't exist in this game. And I just want you guys to see something real quick, right? I have an E1 S1 May on my dot premium team. And I have the light cone for Kafka. Like, people are like, oh, your dot premium team is finally able to clear the end game. Like, brother, I have an E1 S1 May completely carrying this comp. Completely. Like, most people will not be able to get the exact same performance as me without an E1 S1 May. I think Hoyo won't give that many pulls for the Aventurine bug, I'm not gonna lie. I'm hopeful, right? I do think 10 pulls makes like the most sense considering he literally released in 2.6 and the moment 2.7 hit, he's been bugged the entirety of the patch. Like, it's genuinely been an annoying thing, but I smell, right? Like, I smell 300 Jades. That's it. Xiao Q is not better for dot than Mei at E0S0. What? What? Yeah, but Albie, I am not a free to play. I am not the majority of players in this game. The majority of players in this game do not have an E1 S1 Ruan Mei to make their dot premium team clear an extra 1 or 2 cycles faster. Like, you can't see my account where I have genuinely like above average relic investment for the dot team and an E1 S1 Mei. Like, most free to plays can't even get the fucking light cone for Ruan Mei in a single patch. Like, it's just not accurate to compare my account at all. I also have the light cone for my Facial. I have Ratio's light cone as well. My Black Swan doesn't have light cone or Eidolons. I think Aventurine bug is intentional. No, it's not intentional. They made a thing at the beginning of the patch. They said it was a bug with like when they added Sunday being able to like do memo sprites and like they added all these memo sprites things into the files. It's like a bug with that basically. So apparently Aventurine's like trace that gives the person with the lowest amount of shield more shield is actually being given to like a non-existent memo sprite that isn't actually on your team. Like, that's the issue with it. Or sorry, it's Ascension. I think it's his Ascension. Yeah, it's due to the remembrance path. Like, they've already said that they were working on it and we're aware of it, but they said that at literally at the beginning of the patch. Like, it's been an entire month, they haven't done anything. Yeah, Iroku Mata, but the issue is Ruan Mei's buffs just way more than make up for what Jiaoqiu does on the dot team. Like, way, way more. Unless you're running like sustainless or something, maybe, but with a sustain, like your Kafka and your Black Swan are going to do significantly less damage without a harmony on there. Exodius, he gave it to me because he quit the game. Like, he himself is like busy with school, busy with life and shit. And I've literally known this guy since I was like 11 years old on a game called Tails Runner, and we've known each other since I was 11. So he's always played like these gotcha games. I got into them myself. He's like, "Hey, you can like use my account if you really want to." I'm like, "Wait, well, actually?" He's like, "Yeah." So I've just been using his account. Like, if you go back to my old videos, my original main account, my luck was even shittier on that account than this one. By the way, Like, my account is shit on this one. On my actual old main account, it was way worse. The difference is Acheron was an anniversary DPS unit. Like, she was the big drop that, like, completely, like, outdid every single previous DPS. While Herda isn't doing that. Like, yeah, she's also an Emanator. But you can't just be like, oh, Emanator. Like, that automatically means as future-proof as Acheron. Like, no. I'm not going to lie, at this point, you just calculate how strong a DPS is by the anniversary drop at this point. Like, 2.1 anniversary Acheron, 3.2 anniversary casters. Yeah, my account had Firefly. So what happened on my old main account was I had like over 100 pulls. I think like around 110 or 120. So I went to Firefly. Oh no, I had like 160. Yeah, I had around like 160 around there. So I saved around 160 pulls on my main account after returning to the game because I quit it for a little bit. And I got, I think, Firefly. However, I then lost on Ruan Mei and wasn't able to get Ruan Mei. So 160 pulls, by the way. I got Firefly, then lost on Ruan Mei at like 70 or like 80 something pity. And then I was never able to get Ruan Mei again. No, it was cooked, 100%. This is how I know, by the way, this is how I know that the free-to-play experience is way worse when you don't already have like a fully built account. Because my enjoyment of the game automatically skyrocketed the moment I got this account versus my old one. Like, on my old one, I genuinely was having like a fraction of the enjoyment that I have currently on this one. And literally the only difference is just multiple units. I only buy Express Pass and occasionally I'll buy the Battle Pass. Occasionally, right? So because currently I want My Day, Castris, and Sunday, I spent on the Battle Pass, but I usually never do that. Like, I'm usually an only Express Pass guy. As you can see here, I haven't spent any money on like normal Jades at all. And I already claimed like a shit ton of these for like until 3.1, 3.2. Nice flow gone. It would be cool if we got another facial form. I mean, if he ever does, I don't really carry Rokumata. But the thing is, this is a gacha game at the end of the day, right? Like, people can share accounts on these gacha games completely fine because it's not like anyone's actively playing. Like, let's all be honest here. Like, you can very easily share an account in this game, like, without issue at all. It's not like someone's on here 2 hours a day just doing some random shit. No, I'd never buy a skin in this game. Like, literally never. No, I saw that, Blad. Yeah, I saw it. I saw Miyabi's way stronger. Oh, yeah, Rana. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, Castris will most likely be the next Acheron. Where, like, they drop and they're significantly stronger than any previous DPS. And then that's, like, the new standard for all the new DPSs releasing, right? So, the same way everyone these days, like, all these 2.x DPSs, people call them, like, Acheron tier. Is a character Acheron tier. Like, Castris will probably be the exact same thing, basically. No, yeah, like the leakers are hyping up My Day as being like a numerical beast and like someone who gets insane damage per screenshot. But it's probably only going to last a patch, I'm going to be honest. My day will still last a long time, right? I'm confident my day may actually end up being better than both the Herda and, what's it called? And Aglaya, and last the entirety of 3.x. However, like, Castris will just be stronger. Castris wants to use literally Aglaya's teammates. Like, not including Huowo, just Remembrance MC and Sunday. Like, the exact same teammates you use on Aglaya, you use on Castris. Just with probably Ling Sha instead of Huowo, if I had to guess. Yeah. Like, it was fun using Fei Xiao, but now that all the endgame is becoming more AoE targeted, like, you could argue Fei Xiao isn't even going to be number one anymore. Not because she herself just has, like, less damage, but with every single endgame becoming more AoE focused, like, it's just, they're at a disadvantage. No, I'm not going to use March 7th preservation. I don't even think I could use March 7th preservation on any team. Like, I feel like if you used March 7th preservation on any floor in, like, MOC 12, you'd probably, like, die, no? Like, there's no way you actually live. Yes, Crow. Yes. Because of Hyacine. I do think they will add, like, a new limited abundance within, like, 3.3 or 3.4 around there. So you could skip Ling Sha. It's just that you wouldn't be playing your Castris optimally for, like, up to 2 patches or something like that. Yeah, Ronan, you could probably use your Fei Xiao again if we ever go back into a hunt meta, but it's probably going to be a while. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a while. Like, I'm talking like 4.x patches is probably when they do that again. I mean, even then, though, phase, like, vertical investment isn't always possible. Like, I think I can use Acheron as an example here. Like, most people, when Acheron dropped, probably would not have expected her to end up needing, like, her signature down the line that badly. And then Aventurine was literally the second half, and Aventurine's her best sustain, right? Like, most free to plays just cannot vertically invest unless they literally skip like 1 or 2 patches straight. But yes, if you have the resources for it, vertical investment in like one really strong team is usually like the best way to go. Like, that's how your characters last the longest. It will be way more than a million, Shadow. If you saw my recent video on the HP inflation, within the last 4 MOCs, the HP inflation has gone up around like 60 to 70%. When floor 12 first released, the first 4 MOCs, it was only at like a 20% increase. So it's like exponentially getting worse. So 4 MOCs ago, it was 6 million health total for like all mobs. And in the current MOC, it's 10.8, nearly 11 million. It's nearly like a 5 million HP increase within like 3 MOCs. The Trotters barely do shit, Albi. I already mentioned it in that video. Like, Svarog gains 700k HP, and the Trotters do like 6% damage to Svarog. Like, you have to kill the Trotters like 2 or 3 cycles in a row, which completely fucks over like a lot of hunt characters, Cough Cough Fei Xiao. And in the first place, you're wasting your damage trying to kill the Trotters to get it off on the other mobs. So like for AoE DPSs, this is why, like, if you're on YouTube or anything, you can see like a Jing Liu, a Jing Yuan, like you can see them actually clear the current end game because it's more catered towards slower cycle like runs. Like the trotters benefit people who don't do all that much damage. Anyone who has like blast or AoE, like it's just better. Like I'll show you guys once again. Let me see if I can do this. This is, yeah, just do that. So I want to hum. All right, so here we go. So can you guys see this? So this is the current MOC, which is 10.8 million. So the Howling Casket has 1.25 million. Like both of them have 1.25 million. And last MOC they both had 750k, which is like a 70% increase in HP. This Zhengzhou Lo Fu mob, 600k, 132 speed. Decaying Shadow has 100 more speed and 400k more health. Right? Like you have to kill trotters 3 or 4 cycles in a row to actually make up for what's it called? The HP increase. And then if we go to the next MOC, it's a lot worse, by the way. This MOC is a lot worse, but to be fair, it does have mechanics to make it easier, right? But yeah. So when the game first started, the first 4 MOCs, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Acheron's release, by the way. Eve of Wanton Feast is her release. It increased by 700k, which is like a 20% HP increase. And the last 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.2 million. And we have gone up to 10.8 million within 3 MOCs later. And that's like a 60 to 70% HP increase. So it's gotten significantly worse. No, yeah. Actually, yeah. I actually want to show you guys this. I want to show you guys this real quick. So on Acheron's, or like back in Acheron's patch, right? If we go back here, this was who they were using to showcase Acheron, by the way. 350k health elites and an 810k health Yangqing. This is who they were using to showcase Acheron, by the way. The 1.6 million Sam, sure, that was pretty high at the time. But like these 3 elites are old 300k. Like the elites in the current MOC have 50% more HP than a main boss in 2.1. Like a main boss. That's how much worse it's gotten. So this was Acheron's patch, 4.3 million. This is the current patch, 10.8 million. It's an over 100% increase since Acheron. That's why Acheron feels a lot worse without Jiaoqiu, by the way. So like even if you say like, oh, the power creep isn't that bad, characters can still like somehow keep up with like the newer ones. It's mostly the HP inflation and mechanics favoring certain archetypes. No, but Shinny, they can increase it. It's that they're increasing it too fast. That's the issue. As I mentioned, the first 4 MOCs of floor 12 had around a 20 to 25% increase after 3 MOCs. And the current one has 60 to 70%. And that's not including the next MOC, which would make it an over 100 to 200% HP increase. Like, it's an exponential increase in the HP, meaning the characters that are coming out are also exponentially stronger. So like let's say you were to take a break from this game, right? As I mentioned in my video, you take like a 4 month break, you don't play for like 2.5 patches or 3 patches. You come back and the end game is literally like 3-4 million HP extra. Yes, but Bromar, this is the issue. Free to plays and low spenders very, very often either lose 50/50s or they cannot get literally every single premium support for their team, right? As I mentioned before, my Acheron, if I had Jiaoqiu, would be completely demolishing the current endgame. But I did not get Jiaoqiu so that I could get Fei Xiao and Ling Sha in 2.5 instead, right? So because of that decision, Fei Xiao and Ling Sha did last well for like 1 or 2 MOCs, but in the current MOC specifically, it would have been a way better deal if I'd gotten Jiaoqiu and made my Acheron stronger. Like, you cannot have the foresight to literally predict the HP inflation and the mechanics that a certain archetype might be favored down the line in an MOC. Like, you just never know. Like, even if you were to use, you just vertical invest, right? Like, you just vertical invest. If you were to vertical invest in the break team, like, in 3.1, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, in 3.1, we're getting a Hule boss who doesn't have a toughness bar. So break teams are going to struggle against him a lot more, right? Like, this is what I mean. Even if you vertical invest the break team, the break team's really strong right now. I vertical invested in my Acheron team. I vertical invested in my Adot team. They're all going to be worse than just horizontally investing in just a new comp instead. No, I agree, Brovin. I agree. But to be fair, like, if we're just going off like guide makers, because Mr. Pokey made this like a really big thing. He's like, just listen to the guide makers. Like, all the guide makers were saying pull Ling Sha, pull Robin, pull Fei Xiao, pull Aventurine. Those are like the best possible picks for your limited pulls currently. And if you did that, you just got fucked by the current AoE endgame. At the end of the day, it's just RNG on whoever this game wants to favor in the end game and whoever the new characters perform best against. That's literally it. You can never like fully predict it. Even with leaks, it's genuinely hard to predict it as well. So I can't imagine people who like forcefully stay away from leaks. Like, it must be way harder for them. What would you do to make the MOC tough instead of HP inflation? Multiple waves. So there's multiple waves in the MOC. Like, there isn't any turbulence buff at all. So literally every single path has like their own thing, right? So there's multiple waves. This way, literally every single path is treated completely equally. Like, every single one. And each wave caters to a different type of path. Like, that would be like the best possible option, in my opinion. Because currently what they're doing is they're just making one path really good for like one endgame and adding a buff that makes them even further better. And it's genuinely like fucking over the performance of every single other comp in the game. It's not pure fiction. Pure fiction is way easier. Pure fiction bosses have like less health. There's a damage bonus with the resurging tide. Like, I'm talking literally 0 buffs to make anything easier. The thing is, I agree the 10 cycle limitation is getting a little more serious these days. But I think if they reduced it to like 15 or 20, it would genuinely be too easy. Like, you could probably like use a hook or something, right? And clear within like 15 cycles. I think it's for sure getting to the point where you could start putting a 15 cycle limitation, but it's not there yet. I'm talking like late 3.x. I think if the HP inflation keeps going up and up exponentially, then it would kind of make sense. I pulled Ling Sha so I can use her on my Acheron or follow-up team. And I used Aventurine on my Fei Xiao team or on my Acheron team, whichever one. And originally I was going to pull for Firefly, but then I decided that I didn't want to do that and instead wanted to go for like the future 3.x DPSs. That's actually like the first reason. Like I pulled Ling Sha on accident because I thought I was going to go for the break comp and then I ended up not going for it. And she just ended up being good down the line. Literally complete luck that I got Ling Sha. Complete luck. Like, I had zero clue that Ling Sha was going to be strong. Like, this strong the further down we went into the patches. It was complete luck. I genuinely thought I was going to go for a break comp, and I didn't. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a guru who was, like, fully aware that Ling Sha would be, like, super broken for the future patches. I just got fucking lucky. I also got lucky where I lost my 50-50 only one pull after pulling for Fei Xiao. So I instantly had a guaranteed, and that allowed me to get Ling Sha as well. So, like, the stars aligned for me pulling Ling Sha on my account. Yeah, another thing they could do is add, like, an MOC up to, like, 15 floors. And just make the previous, like, 12 floors easier. And then up to 15 floors, like... Or maybe make, like... You know how, what's it called? Like, Wuwa? They have, like, this thing called the Hazard Tower in the Tower of Adversity. Where, like, you're fully aware that this is, like, optional content. That is, like, the hardest of the hardest content possible. Like, add, like, that. Like, 2 or 3 MOC floors that are like completely different and make sure that it's like a thing like, you know, you need high investment. This isn't necessary at all. This is just like if you want to do it or you think you can do it. Like I think Wuwa, the way they do the Hazard Tower and Tower of Adversity, literally they could copy the exact same thing. No, Shadow. I don't think doing surveys does shit for Hoyo. I'm not going to hold you. I mean, that's obvious, Shek. Like, these gotcha games are made to be predatory. Like, I don't think anyone denies the second you get into a gotcha game, you are aware of, like, the predatory practices. But at times, it just gets, like, bad to the point where it starts interfering with your enjoyment with the game. Like, just tone it down a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we really ask, right? Like, I feel like people would still pull for a lot of the new characters, even if they were only like 5 or 10% better. Like, they 100% would, right? And a lot more people would get more enjoyment out of the game being able to continue in using the older characters that got them into the game in the first place, right? Because that's like the main point of the like a gacha game like this, right? It's meant for casual people who really want to enjoy their characters. However, their characters are just straight up falling behind in old gameplay and content that this game has to offer. No, I've never tried Arc Knights. I've heard of it, but like I've never tried it myself. No. Yeah, but Neku, I'm gonna be honest, right? Like I mentioned this to someone in my comments as well. Like if we're all being honest, right? If you had the ability to pull every character in this game and that allowed you to clear MOC completely brain dead, in the first place, it's not challenging. Like just bloating HP more and more and more and more isn't exactly challenging. Like when you look at a game like Wuwa, Like in Wuwa, you can genuinely make up for not having signatures or sequences by being very, very good at rotations and having some decent mechanical skill, right? Like that's challenging, right? You're taking your characters to a whole nother level because you're actually learning to do their rotations optimally. In this game, it literally just comes down to, do you have the relic investment and do you have the characters? If you do not have one or the other, most of the time you are just going to struggle no matter how smart or good you are at this game. Like, there are still people using solo Don Jin in Wuwa and beating like level 90 and level 100 holograms with her. That is a 4-star soloing the hardest bosses in the entirety of the game. And 99% of the player base can't do that, but the 1% can because they're just good enough, right? They have the skill for it. Like, that's challenging. That's skillful. Not missing a character and suddenly performing way worse because the endgame doesn't favor you anymore. Yeah, the average pulls for HSR is like 100 per patch, like in total. So I think I watched Mr. Pokey's video, and apparently, like, worst case scenario, if you were playing literally since like the beginning of the game, you could have gotten what's it called, like 12 limiteds, which, by the way, that's not much. That doesn't sound much at all. But if you started in 2.x, it'd be even worse. If you started in 2.x, I think it's like 6 limiteds, like 6 to 8 limiteds around there. And that's almost not even enough for 2 premium comps, even if you started in 2.x. Oh, it's 8. Oh, it's 8. Oh. It's even worse. Yeah, that's even worse. So, like, let's say you were a day one and you did the advice of vertical investment. You invested into a SEAL team with Silverwolf and a DOT team or a Jing Yuan team. Brother, you basically just wasted 4 limited pulls, right? Because back then, they genuinely looked like very good meta pulls. But these days, brother, oh my goodness. They are nowhere near what they used to be. All are viable. Yeah, with new supports. With new supports, with Eidolons and Lycones, they're viable. If you use like a 1.x team these days, at E0S0 completely, you just aren't doing that good, man. The only reason Jingyuan is viable is because Hoyo literally did some bullshit. So they wanted Sunday to be someone who could action advance memo sprites, but we're like, hey, let's also make him action advance Jingyuan summon so we can finally rerun him and make him look good again. Oh, you're talking about... Wait, 400 characters? Jeez. Arknights has 400? Yeah, I appreciate you all stopping by. I'm not even doing anything except for, like, talking. And, like, with the chat. All are viable? Really? Like, that's good, Albie. That's good. Like, that's genuinely a good thing. Because it feels nice, right? Like, these games do require time investment. Right? Let's say you play the game for like a year straight. It doesn't feel good to invest a year of your time into a game for the characters you really like, come back, and they're just not doing well in the end game content. Right? Like, that doesn't feel good. Like, it'd feel a lot better if you could come back and still use your old characters and still completely clear without having to rely on getting like the newest supports or the newest DPS, right? Like, I literally went to YouTube and I saw like a Genshin like 1.x or like 2.x team. Like, it's a Hu Tao basically free to play team, and they're using like Zhongli, Zhang Yun, and someone else I don't remember. It's like another 4-star, and they cleared the end game with like an entire minute left. And Hu Tao's like a 3-year-old unit. I'm never gonna get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. No, exactly, Will. Like, E1 dot performs way better than E0 dot. That's the thing, though. Like, yeah, it is nice that you're still clearing it, but, like, E1 dot is just way, way stronger than without it. Like, that's my opinion, like, the thing. Like most free to play slash low spenders will not have E1 Black Swan, E1 Kafka, like E1 Ruan Mei, E1 Huohuo, like that in itself is 8 cost, by the way. Like that entire team is 8 cost. What do you mean what's the point of gacha then? People just pull for characters they like. Like that's the entire point of gacha. The point of gacha isn't to power creep every single old unit. It's to bring out characters that interest the player base and makes them want to pull for them. Like Genshin still sometimes is at the complete like top of the revenue boards. Like very often. Even though their power creep issue is like way less of an actual issue than it is in Honkai Star Rail because people just like the characters. Like it's really just that simple. If you like the character, you're gonna pull for them. That's it. No, exactly, Buffalo. I agree completely. But it is looking forward to pulling the new stuff and the content. But then, like, when you start to see that a lot of the stuff you used, like your old limited pulls on, a lot of the characters you really enjoyed having fun with, are genuinely falling off to the point where, like, it just completely struggling to clear endgame, like, only a year later into the game's lifespan, like, that doesn't feel good, right? Like, it almost feels like you've been betrayed. Because you have to invest a lot of time into these games, man. You have to invest a lot of time to get, like, really good relics for your characters and as well like farm all the limited pulls to keep pulling. And by the way, someone brought it up. Like a lot of people have been arguing with me that like Genshin gets way less pulls, right? However, I actually looked at a video of it. So the average pulls that we get each patch in Honkai Star Rail is around 100, and someone brought it up for Genshin, and Genshin is around like 90. That's only 10 less, even though they do not run 2 limited characters a patch. And they usually sometimes might not even like run a character at all. Yeah, like Jing Liu, Jing Yuan, Blade, like all those characters are still very loved by a lot of people, but they're struggling to clear the endgame content with them, and that doesn't feel good. No way Genshin is 90 on average. It is. It is 90. No. I already saw a video on it. There are some patches where they give like an excess amount of pulls, so it makes up for the patches where they give a low amount of pulls. Broven, it's not forever. It's for a decent while. Like a long time, right? Like what you're spending a month and a half, if not more, of your time to pull one limited character, and literally a few patches later, they've already like fallen off. Like that just doesn't feel good at all. Like these gotcha games are predatory. Why do you think we have to be power crept so badly? Like there's nothing wrong with a character still being usable in endgame after a long time. No, I do agree Genshin takes more time investment, yeah. You do have to like explore the map and shit, but like at the end when it's all calculated, like they're only like 10 pulls behind HSR on average. Broven, how can you like the game when the only thing that this game is selling you is characters and they're power creeping the characters you like? Does that make any sense to you? Like you're in a niche spot. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. You like the challenge and the content more than the actual characters maybe. But a majority of people who play these gachas play for the characters, right? And of course, these characters are as well built into the storyline. Like, it sucks when a character is the reason you started playing the game and they used to be meta and they used to be good, and they're automatically, like, a year later, like, bottom 5 DPS is in the entirety of the game. Like Wuthering Waves endgame is still difficult for a lot of people, especially the Hazard Tower. But Jin Shi is 6 months later still the strongest DPS in Wuwa. Like, you could have taken a 4-patch break, come back, and so long as you're not like any shittier, or you just like relearn the rotations and your mechanical skill, you're gonna be able to clear it. Like, it's a lot nicer being able to use the characters you love in the game you love. No, Exodius, someone literally, like, someone calculated from 1.0 all the way to current Genshin. Like, I saw a graph on it. Like, they fully calculated how many pulls you could have gotten from the beginning to end, and the overall average came out to 90 pulls a patch. Like, they did the exact same for HSR. They did the exact same for Genshin. Genshin was 90 pulls average, and Honkai Star was like 100 or 109 average. Because there's nothing else to do in this game, Broven. This isn't Wuwa or Genshin where there's like open world and like different challenges. There's nothing to do in this game. It's turn-based. There is no exploring. There is no new content. There isn't anything. You only farm relics every single day for a month and a half straight. And the only thing you can do with those relics is the end game, right? Like, there's literally there's nothing in this game. It's not the same as an open world game where you can just like go around, do a bunch of random quests, find chests, find like certain holograms, do all of that stuff like in Wuwa. Like, it's not the same. This game has way, way less content than those two games. Like, way less. Like, most of the content in these games is literally just dialogue. It's 99% dialogue. And then the rest of the time, you're just farming relics every single day and doing the end game. Nice, Andrina. That's unfortunate. I hope you get, I want to pull for him, but Lingshaw is better. Hey, good luck on getting Lingshaw. Yeah, simulated universe, like, the relics don't really matter. And Divergent universe, I think it's the same as well. Like, if you have an underleveled character, you can just enjoy them. No, yeah, as well traces, yeah. Like, recently I spent a shit ton of resin to get my Himiko's thing to like nearly max. Like, nearly all her traces are max except for her skill. Like, that's all you do in this game. You just farm traces, you farm relics, you log off. Like, there's nothing else to do but the end game. Like, there is no other gameplay, man. There's nothing else. Yeah, it seems like currently they're putting a lot of their focus on ZZZ. Whenever they have like a newer game, that's usually where they put most of their focus on. But to be fair, I think at this point, Honkai Star Rail is like their most consistent top seller, no? Or is it Genshin? I haven't been paying attention to the gacha revenues. You have missions to do, though? Well, the missions in this game are literally just old talk, man. Like, maybe there will be like a 30-second fight once in a while, and then it just completely disappears after that. It's just dialogue. HSR, it's HSR, yeah. Like, HSR is like their number one top seller. That's the only reason why they keep giving it like quality of life consistently. That would be cool, Shaq. Yeah, like it would be cool if they had like some type of dungeon end game that you could like infinitely repeat, and it like gives some type of rewards. But like they're predatory for a reason, right? I don't expect them to add extra rewards for something like that. Like technically, you could say that that is MOC, right? But it's not exactly the same. Brovin, people don't care about the Jades though. Like I see this, like a lot of people bring up this argument. They're like, "Oh, it's just like 60. It's just 80 Jades." Nobody actually gives a shit about losing out on half a pole. Like what they actually care about is being able to clear the end game because that's literally the only objective you have in the entirety of this game, basically, right? Like that's basically your only goal is to just be able to clear the end game consistently. Like nobody actually cares about missing out on half a pole. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anyone actually cares about that. They just care about clearing the end game. Yeah, that's another thing, by the way. If you look at 2.6, the amount of pulls we got in 2.6, if I remember correctly, was like 106 or like 102. And for an entirely new planet and 8 different character banners, we're getting 110 in 3.0. Like, the game just doesn't care, man. I mean, maybe it'll be 120 if they give like 10 pulls for their Aventurine bug. Who knows? That half a pull, you never know, man. Like, I always see people bring it up, but like, no, I don't think anyone cares about half a pull. Is it even half a pull? I know in Pure Fiction, like the last star is it's like 80. Is it actually half a pull or is it 60? It might be less than half a pull. It might be like a third. Let's see. Oh no, it is 80. Forgetting the last star. Yeah, it's 80. So it is half a pole. Yeah, no one really cares about the half a pole. They just care about being able to clear it in the first place. Because it feels nice being able to clear endgame. But it sucks when you lose not to skill, but because you don't have a certain character or amount of investment. Like even if you told someone, hey, invest in the Fei Xiao comp, you get Fei Xiao in 2.5, you get Aventurine in 2.6, you got Robin alongside Fei Xiao. Like they would have already had to skip a patch in the first place to get those limiteds. And now they got a Fei Xiao and they're missing an AoE comp to help them clear the end game, right? Like that's the issue with vertical investment in powerful teams. I'm never gonna stop shilling for Arknights if you continue like this. I don't think I'll play Arknights. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably maybe I'll watch like a YouTube video on it later or something, see how it is, but I don't think I'd play it. Exactly, Buffalo. Exactly. You get it. You get it. Like Fortnite occasionally will add like a reward for reaching like Unreal rank in that game, but nobody actually gives a shit about the reward. They just want to hit Unreal. It's literally the exact same in this game. People just want to feel good about clearing the end game. It just sucks when it's not a skill issue, but instead like a character issue, right? Like 3 or 4 MOCs ago, you could clear this with only 4 stars. Like around 4 or 5 MOCs ago, every single new MOC, you'd see a video of like a really like big Giga Sweat completely clearing MOC with only 4 stars. You can't do that in the game anymore. I'm pretty sure you stopped being able to do that like a few MOCs ago. Like, I don't even know, like, maybe E0S0 Dill or E0S0 Jingliu or Seal. Like, I don't even know if they could clear the MOC with 4 star supports either. So, like, even if you have a limited DPS, like, it still just isn't enough. Supports are what are, like, really carrying the old DPSs in the game right now. No, I agree, Brovin, but here's the issue, right, Brovin? Here's the issue I take with it, right? Let's say you pull the Herda in 3.0, right? Because the end game is going to be catered towards her. And to be honest, the Herda is pretty free to play friendly. Like she can work with Pela, she can work with Remembrance MC. It's pretty free to play. So you go for the Herda. She's good in that end game. Then 3.1 hits. You don't have enough pulls to get like a My Day, or you lose the 50-50, and that end game is catered towards My Day instead of the Herda. The Herda will still perform well, but you'll probably clear like an entire 1 or 2 cycles slower than usual, like instantly. Not to mention, there is a toughness bar in 3.1 on the Hule boss. Or, sorry, no toughness bar. So break characters will do worse against that Hule as well. Like, horizontal investment is the best option for anyone in this game, I feel like. I think 100% that's the best option. Like, instead of going, like, E1, S1s for, like, everyone. However, there's also a caveat to that, right? Like, sometimes you just can't get a character every single patch that fits into your, like, comp. And it ends up fucking you over. Like, once again, I'll say this for, like, the third or fourth time. Having no Zhao Q for my Acheron is making her take twice, if not more than twice as long to clear endgame. If I had Zhao Q, I could maybe even possibly get a 0 cycle off. If I really tried hard enough. Yeah, I think at this point, I think after Fei Xiao and like this bullshit with the endgame going into AoE, you just never pull for a hunk character. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, it's better to just, like, even if an AoE DPS is only the second best option, I think at this point, it's just the better overall option. Oh, I see, Bromar, I see. It'll still be slower for break teams, though. Bromar. I think that's 100% a thing. No, I agree, Brovin. I agree. I agree Hunt is pretty power creepable. At least, like, Fei Xiao is still going to be fine in Apocalyptic Shadow, I'm pretty sure. But, like, Pure Fiction and what's it called? Pure Fiction and MOC, like, it becoming more AoE is worse for, like, anyone who went for the Fei Xiao comp. Bro, it's so bad, Zenol. It's so bad. I completely relate to you. It's happened to me before. It is so, so bad when you just lose every single 50-50 in a row. Like, it fucks up your pull plan over and over again. Like, that's why now I'm literally so cautious to the point where I'll skip like a patch or two before actually trying to invest in a team at this point. Like, I have PTSD from just losing every single 50-50 and 75-25. I mean, the Herda will be strong when she releases. She just won't be like I've gave my own opinion on before. I think like E0S0 Herda versus any other E0S0 DPS, like I think she has like the best overall value compared to any other character in the game in like her optimal team. And if you run her sustainless, it's an even bigger difference. I think E1 in an optimal team, it's either a Glea or Firefly. Like, it's either one of those two. And then E2 is the Herda again. The Herda's E2 is completely fucking busted. No, exactly, Brovin. Yeah, the Herda is looking very promising for both free to plays and people who have like good investment on her. I don't think her E2 is ass. She gets like a 35% action advance after using her enhanced skill. And she gets an extra enhanced skill in the first place with the E2. Yeah, like she can literally spam the enhanced skill, especially like if you have Sunday, you use that ult. Also, I think the E2 gives you 2 stacks if you use the ult on someone with max stacks. No, so you just use the ult. You what's it called? You use an enhanced skill. You use Sunday. You boost her up, and she enhanced skills again, like automatically. And I'm pretty sure she keeps either half of the stacks from the last time she enhanced skilled, but it doesn't even matter because now her E1 has synergy with her trace. So literally all you need is, I believe, 28 stacks on a mob, and you'll be able to get the extra damage bonus from the 50% extra interpretation from the E1. I mean, you have to think about it this way, right? The Herda at E2 does more than an Acheron ult with the enhanced skill. This doesn't include the ultimate damage itself, which is usually between like 2 to 400k against max stack mobs. But like, it does more than an Acheron ult. And she can actually do it way, way more often. That's not even including her without Tribby and without like a future air addition that could make her stronger. Like, I have seen a Herda at like E0S0, E0S1, single target, by the way, single target, max stacks, like 700 or 800k. Like, that is single target for a pure fiction unit. Oh, yeah, Flogon. I mean, what? To be fair, I was right, Flogon. When I made that video, literally like a patch after Jion and Yin Lin, we instantly got Jin Chi, and Jin Chi was like 20%, 30% stronger than anyone else at the time. Like, it genuinely made sense to make that video at the time. I didn't expect them to go like 3 or 4 patches in a row with keeping Jin Chi as the strongest one. 100% Broven. E2 Herda is going to eclipse a lot of E6s. 100%. Yeah, like you can easily skip her as well. Yeah, because we have like upcoming 3.x DPSs. They'll probably all be like as good, if not better, than the Herda, anyways. No, the Herda isn't pure fiction only at all. Like, that'll be her best mode where she'll just completely demolish. But even in MOC and APOC, like she does really well. Yes. Mish, yes. Her E2 is way more valuable. Even her E1 is more valuable than her light cone. But only if you're not running like consistently to skill point issues. The E2 combo for her does the most broken one in the game, like more than Fireflies. Nice, Shark. I mean, it's way harder to get E2 than it is to get S1 in the first place. So it's a bit of an unfair comparison. But the E1 anyways is better than the S1 in like overall damage. I have a Super Break team and a Akron team. That's it. Which of the upcoming new characters would you recommend for my roster? Honestly, if I was just being completely honest, so long as you can keep clearing the endgame content completely fine, I wouldn't pull for anyone in 3.0. And I just wait, see if my day's like really top tier, and as well Castris. I think overall, the best value picks in 3.x, similar to like 2.x with like Acheron and Firefly, are probably going to be Castris and Phanon. I think those are going to be the two main ones that'll get a lot of like support in the future with like best in slot units, like another similar situation. So as long as you can keep clearing the end game just fine and your like enjoyment of the game is fine, I'd wait a few patches, get My Day, or maybe you can even skip My Day if you want, but get Castress. I think Castress will be that big drop. Yeah, Phanon, except the E is an A. So Phanon is supposed to release, I think, around 3.4, and he's like physical destruction. Basically, I think he's like a character from the original Honkai. Like and he's gonna have like multiple forms. Albi. So it's a lot of things lining up at once, right? So 2.1 anniversary. Akron was teased in the Game Awards for Honkai Star Rail's anniversary as like the big drop. And currently, after the last Game Awards, the character who was given like the most suspenseful like teaser was Castress and her dragon for the Game Awards. And they are both anniversary DPS units. And the leakers themselves gave Castress the highest possible meta rating that you could give any character. More than My Day, more than the Herda, more than Aglaya, more than Tribi. Like she was an S plus, which is the highest possible. So it's both the leakers and Hoyo themselves hyping up Castress. It's kind of obvious she's gonna be a big DPS drop. Like it's just a bit obvious, you know. Like, you just put 1 and 2 together, it's just gonna be another Acheron. Nice one, Albie. You have a bias against them? They said Jade was bad. I've seen a lot of people saying that the leakers were like already wrong because they gave Aglaya only a B in the meta rating. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand that it's like not only damage numbers. Like you're gonna put Aglaya's teammates straight into Castress's. So whoever is the stronger between the two would obviously be given the higher rating. So I truly do believe that's why Castress was given an S plus and Aglaya was given like a B. I don't think Castress is gonna need Robin at all. She's not an attack scaler. She scales off her own HP. Like similar to My Day, I'm pretty sure My Day doesn't need attack at all either. Like the only thing you'd use Robin for is probably like her action advance, and that's it. Like maybe in a sustainless team or something. But as far as we know, it'll just be Remembrance MC and Sunday who are the best in slots. Yeah, exactly, Gabe. Plus, there's not even any guarantee that Aglaya will get like future unit support to make her stronger. The Herda probably definitely will, right? Like we're all aware at this point. Like the Herda will. So her being ranked higher than Aglaya actually makes sense. Yeah, Broven. Like Aglaya is very Sunday and Woho hungry. If you have the E1, right? This is the exception. If you have the E1, it isn't as bad because she regenerates energy way more often. But you still usually just always want to have Sunday on her team. Probably Exodius. Yeah, probably. A lot of people have been like, "Oh, they should put her in the standard banner," but that would be like a little too broken, because then you'd be able to get like her Eidolons and her Lycone from the standard banner. Like that might be a bit too broken, right? Like I'd say give them like maybe until 4.x, then maybe they'll add her to the standard. You know what I'm saying? Adding her to the standard this early would completely power creep every other standard character. No, yeah, the Herta got buffed like 3 different times throughout the beta. Like she got a lot. I don't think so, Mish. Which I was talking to my chat about this yesterday on a stream as well. I was literally telling them how I didn't understand why they refused to add like HP supports in this game, like at all. Like there aren't any, and there aren't leaks for any future ones either. Hmm. There we go. My internet just went out for like a second out of nowhere. The Lycone would be available for Starlight too? Yeah. I think they didn't buffer enough no bias. Nice. They should have made her castress level. I'm more curious about my day currently though, right? Because let's all be honest, if castress is supposed to be the big DPS drop, and leakers are saying my day is at least going to have the strongest damage per screenshot in the game, like how much stronger is my day? And that also leads to the question, how much stronger will castress be than my day to make her a better pull? Like that's what I'm truly curious about like right now. Well, Broven, it's not confirmed at all if like it's only a one-time thing, you know? Like it's very likely that he could dish out those numbers consistently. It's just that we don't know that yet. Like all the leakers are saying my day is like a complete beast in damage. So I'm just assuming like worst possible case scenario, he can only do it like once a cycle or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like more likely than not, it's not going to be that bad. And also, what damage would he have to do for the leakers to hype up his damage numbers that much, right? Like we even have like E0S0 hurt us hitting nearly 1 million. Like how much is he gonna do to where like we're genuinely surprised, or are the leakers just overhyping him? Yeah, I think it would be like nearly at least nearly 2 million at E0S0. Like it has to be around there. That's the only way it'd make any sense to like be like, oh my god. Oh, I have no doubt, Dandelion. I genuinely have no doubt. Like 3.x, it's looking like it's just every new character is gonna be stronger than the previous one. Okay, to be fair, Broven, right? So I saw people saying that they might be using E6 My Day. However, the difference is My Day is actually being given like good translations. And for the Tribby leak about her doing like old DPS damage, it was actually the English translator that translated it wrong and not the leaker. So the leaker didn't lie. It's just that the translator translated it wrong, making it seem like E0 Tribby did DPS damage. But My Day's kit is like completely translated just fine. Like there's no mention of E6 or like anything like that. That's understandable, Blad. That's understandable. I think it's completely fine to take a break from these games. That's actually a big reason why, like as I mentioned, I'm a bit of an advocate against the HP inflation and the power creep. Like as I mentioned before multiple times as an example, being able to take a break from the game and like recover your enjoyment of the game, like coming back when you feel healthier, is genuinely like a really good plus. Like that's something that should be considered. Like when it gets to the point where like you can't take a break from the game, like you come back and all of a sudden you just can't clear the end game content, like that's a pretty bad thing. Yeah, FOMO, Brovin. FOMO. I'm not gonna lie, FOMO. Yeah, like you're gonna want to play the game even if you're not enjoying it all that much to get the jades for characters. It's normal though. Like I understand this is normal, right? This is the more normal stuff of gotcha games that I've like fully accepted at this point. But it is nice once in a while to take a break. Like I feel like realistically most people don't like most people haven't played since like the first time they played the game and never missed a day. Like most people have missed a day, weeks, maybe even a few patches. You think fake characters are gonna be mid, or you think any will be castress tier? I think it could go either of two ways. Because they are coming after castress, like late 3.x, I'm pretty sure. So they will either like follow like the normal power creep rule this game has. They'll at least be as strong as castress or near her tier, right? Like I think that's a good option. But the other one is that they're ass like alloy. Like they either go one of those two options. Either they're actually viable in game and they're like genuinely like Acheron tier, or it's gonna be another alloy situation where they're basically just like trophies. I doubt they'll give any of the fake characters for free. Like they'll 100% be on a patch. Who knows if they'll have a rerun? Maybe not. It is quite far away though, so it's like very hard to tell. But I do think it's just gonna go either one of those two ways. Either follow the normal HSR formula and nothing changes, they're strong, they're good for the end game, right? They have their own niches, or it just goes to shit. HSR will not give a free limited 5 star. I like people did this exact same mistake with the anniversary around like Acheron's patch, thinking we were gonna get like another free limited 5 star after Doctor Ratio. Not only was that at like the very very beginning of the game, but they won multiple awards back then. Like in in the recent game awards, they won significantly less awards. So they gave like I think it was like 20 or 30 polls for it. I don't remember. But I think it was like 20 or 30 polls. Go away. 81 polls. Oh, oh, thank God I don't have the impulse I used to on polling. I actually have the patience now. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a minute. I'm going to take my dog out, literally like a minute or two. And I'm being completely trolled by my dog. Like, he's barking as if he wants to go outside. I go downstairs, and like when I'm about to open the door for the backyard, he just sits there staring at me. Like, I understand there's snow, but like, just wasting my time. Is he muted? Yeah, I muted it. I went somewhere to try and take my dog out. I like Jade rerun for her light cone. Is Jade's light cone that good? I wouldn't even know, honestly. Your dog wants to annoy you, gang? Yeah, I'm fully aware. Like I've already mentioned it in a stream yesterday. So this dog has a major issue of not giving a shit. So basically, he will just bark whenever he wants to. Like I'm talking like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I will just wake up and not be able to sleep the entire morning. Like it happened today. It happened today. It's second best in slot for the herd. Oh, really? Bark back shows who's boss. Nice. Struggling bad in the game after returning since Dr. Ratio, him and Himiko are my only DPS. And the gear is abysmal. Currently at Trailblaze level 40. Have 70 pulls so far for my day. To be fair, I don't think anyone can make it anywhere in the end game at like level Trailblaze 40. Like you can't even farm gold relics by then, I'm pretty sure. It's just going to take some time as a new player, 100%. I know I probably shouldn't be saying this, and I probably should not be advocating for this, but for like anyone who genuinely has the money for it and is like not like doesn't have an issue taking a risk with it, please just buy an account. like like please just if you just have the money for it, please I'd much recommend you to just buy an account in this game. Like I know that's against the TOS, but it is just a much fucking better option, man. LMAO, like if we're all being honest here, it's gonna take you like 3 months to get like Trailblaze level 60 or 70. You're gonna have to farm relics for 3 months straight. You're gonna have like 2 or 3 limited characters. Like literally just work for one day and then just buy an account, bro. Like, I genuinely just recommend that instead, man. How expensive are HSR accounts? I have zero fucking clue. I genuinely have zero fucking clue. All I know is that there's like a gaming market. Like I used to do this with Wizard 101. I used to be like a god at like max leveling characters in that game really quickly. So I genuinely like when I was a kid, I'd sell Wizard 101 accounts on there. And I was looking at them a little bit ago, and I actually saw Honkai Star Rail as like a popular thing for like selling accounts on. No, I agree, Albie, but like, I feel like you get a lot more enjoyment unless like, I guess it's subjective, right? Like, obviously you don't have to do it, but I think it's just better starting off on an account that already has like decent relics invested in and other shit. Wizard 101 mention. Yeah. I don't know, Shek, but like, I genuinely don't know. Actually, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. You guys obviously won't be able to see anything. Uh, um, there are some whale accounts. Yeah, literally right here. So there's a guy selling his account for $80, and it's Trailblaze 70 with a shit ton of light cones and characters. Like, of course, it's better if you just go for like a trusted person probably on these sites, but oh, is that how it works, Frostbite? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Maybe you shouldn't buy it. Never mind. Never mind. Maybe you shouldn't buy it. Don't listen to me, guys. Don't listen to me. I'm a bad influence, okay? I bought a ZZZ roll account. Hey, Faye said it, not me. You can take his word for it. You cannot, but hey, there's someone in here who's done it. Just grind. I understand that sentiment, but I'm gonna be completely honest, right? Let's say you're an adult, right? I understand if you're a kid, but if you're an adult, would you rather spend 3 months straight getting like 2 or 3 limiteds at max and farming relics daily, constantly going through all that dialogue? Or are you going to spend like a day's worth of work to save yourself 3 months of time? It really just all depends on the person, like what they want. Is that really a thing, Cherry? Are there cheats in Honkai Star Rail? Is that even possible? That's understandable, Buffalo. That's understandable. Wait, what cheats would you even do in Honkai Star Rail? What? Do they like cheat Jades in the game, or like how does that even work? Is that even like, or is it just like private server people? True, more true. Oh, they hack their damage. Oh, okay. 1 HP enemies. Okay, that actually makes sense. Okay, never mind. That does make sense. I didn't know people actually did that though. I didn't even know that like existed. I genuinely thought like these types of games like you just can't cheat in them. Like I know private servers exist, but that's like a different story. I wish there was a skip button in this game. Like genuinely, I wish like ZZZ. Why? Why couldn't HSR be the newer game and not ZZZ, man? Then HSR would have gone the skip button instead. Yeah, like I know I bring it up so many times, but that Sunday cutscene in Panic Oni, oh my goodness. I think it was literally like 20 minutes long. You cannot skip it. Like it was so fucking bad. I went downstairs, I grabbed a glass of milk, I grabbed food, I came back up. The cutscene was still going. Oh, I see, LB. What scene? I think it's the one. Like, is he talking to Ratio? I think he's talking to Ratio. How good is Wua? Because Brant looks fine to me. Wua's pretty good. I will say, if you're expecting it to be like as time convenient as Honkai Star Rail, hell no, right? Like you actually need to learn rotations. Like you need to have some mechanical skill for like some certain comps, like quick swap and all that shit. But the game is genuinely fun and very free to play friendly. The weapon banner on Wua is 100% guaranteed. It's just whether or not you get it early. They have a lower soft pity, which is it starts around like 63 in Honkai Star Rail it's 73. And in the current 2.0 patch there's like 180 free to play polls, which is 70 more than Honkai Star Rail is about to give for 3.0 on a new planet. Wua hasn't even had its anniversary yet, by the way. Like they haven't had it yet. 180, yeah. It's because the new region in 2.0 is that large And there's a bunch of events and as well like free polls that they're giving out throughout the first half and second half. Yeah, it's a lot, bro. Like, but they're not lying though. I know they're not lying because I came back to the game. I used like 30 or 40 pulls, lost to Verena at around like 60 pity, and then I was able to get another 70 pulls within like 2 or 3 days by exploring the region. And I was able to get my Carlotta. And right now, I'm like 20 pity into the weapon banner as well, plus 10 pity into the character banner again. So I've already farmed personally like 120 pulls since I got on a 2.0 Wuwa. And I still have like half the region undiscovered. And there's more pulls on the second half. Yeah, 180 is diabolical. Like it is. Yeah, there was a free limited 5-star. I think in like 1.2 with Zhang Liao as well. And he's also like a top tier character in the game too. You know how it is, Exodius. You know how it is. Like, it could not get much worse. Even though I'm a low spender, at this point, I could literally be considered like an average free to play because of my shitty ass luck. Like, it's that bad. I got double Carlotta. I was surprised. Nice, Butterfly. I wish I could get that lucky. 2.3 is the anniversary. Is it really? I'm looking forward to it then. I want to see what they do on their anniversary. Because it will be the first anniversary of Wuwa. So it'll be like decently big. If you see my poll tracker, you'd actually kill me. Don't worry, man. I'm already friends with someone who is like incredibly lucky in these gacha games. And I've just come to terms with it at this point. He got 2 Firefly light cones in 110 pull. He got Firefly, won the 50-50 within like 20 pity. And then he got Ruan Mei and her light cone within like 70 pulls. And then in Wuwa, he got Carlotta and the weapon within like 40. Like, I've never, like, it's just so lucky, man. He laughs at me every time I tell him, like, how my pity and, like, my shit is going in Honkai Star Rail. Need Geshu Lin? Bro, I'm still waiting for Geshu Lin. I'm still waiting for him. I pre-farmed an entire set of Havoc Echoes in 1.0 waiting for Geshu Lin to release. Yeah, like, it's crazy. It is crazy how lucky some people can get. Damn, Jeshua, like, I dream of it sometimes, you know? Like, I was looking thinking of it the other day. Since I'll have so many polls by, like, 3.1 and 3.2, like, what if, right? Like, just what if I got, like, 2 Sundays in a 10 poll? Or I got, like, a light cone in, like, a 10 poll. You know what I'm saying? Like, just what if I was just, like, a little lucky here and there. Ain't no way, Blad. Broven, that's insane. S3 Carlotta is so fucking strong. What if I just E1 Herda and 10 pulls? Why not E6S4? Or technically, no, E6S3 I think is around 10. Yeah. Just get an E6S3, bro. Not gonna lie. Ooh, I see Albie. Damn, bro, Vin. Like, that's another good thing about Wuwa. Like, the power creep isn't that crazy. Like, just going for, like, 1 sequence or 2 sequence notes on a DPS, they're automatically gonna last you years, bro. Why not get E7 Herda? A. Why not, eh? Why not? You know, it would be a pretty cool thing if like after you hit E6 on a 5-star, if you got further of them, like you could use two of them at once. You know what I'm saying? Like that would actually be pretty cool. Like you could run like two E6 the big Herdas on the exact same team. I mean the skill points would probably not be too yeah, but yeah, pretty cool for the people who have like thousands and thousands of dollars for it. This is low key just my opinion, right? I understand why like Eidolons are a thing, but I feel like it'd be a lot more fun if characters just had like older Eidolons in their base kit, and obviously the enemy scale to it, right? Like I'm not asking the enemies to stay the same, but like the enemy scale to the characters with like their full Eidolons into their base kit and Lycone as well. But then you can like pull multiple of a character and use them at once. Like that would actually be pretty cool. Like you can run like double Robin, like double Facial, something weird like that. It would be so much fun. It is, bro. And I was talking about it yesterday. The fact that you can purchase two Eidolons with the coral is so fucking nice. Like that, I was talking about how I wish they'd added an Honkai Star Rail, because that way it'd be a lot easier for like free to plays and low spender to get like an E1, right? Like let's say like an E1 Robin and E1 Sunday, like it'd be so much easier. Because that's what I'm planning to do currently, Broven. So I don't really want to go for Phoebe anymore, and I don't like Zanny. Like I don't know, like I don't get the hype. So I want to get Carlotta's S2 by the time she reruns. I'm gonna get Shorekeeper in 2.1, and then after that, it's just gonna be like straight saving for Carlotta. That's true, Albie. Oh yeah, I'd pull on the Lycone banner way more often if it was not a 75/25. Like if Hoyo made this a 100%, I'd pull on it. I'd even recommend it like a lot more often, especially when it comes to like E1s versus S1s. Like Lycones would become a lot bigger of a like recommendation, because you can actually lose like 50/50 on an Eidolon while you get everything guaranteed. That would be cool, Jeshua. Yeah, it does. Knowing that you have an increased chance to win and then still losing, especially because the Lycone banner, like, let's be honest, most of the 4-star Lycones on the Lycone banner are usually ass. Like, they're usually ass. Most of the time. Like, 4-star characters are usually way more important than 4-star Lycones. So it feels like a complete waste to lose on the Lycone banner. Really? Is Aglaea's banner the one with Is Aglaea's banner gonna be the one with DDD? Ah, I see. DDD hasn't re-ran since like a year ago, bro. Actually, now that I think about it, since it's on the second side, it'll be exactly like around a year, I think. It'll be exactly nearly a year since DDD got re-ran. The last time DDD re-ran was 2024 February, like early February. I think it's gonna come out in like late January. Actually, no, it come out in February as well. Yeah, so early February again, like an entire year to rerun. Oh, it'll also be on Robin's banner. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Robin's a rerun. Yeah, so Robin's rerunning alongside Aglaya. Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot Robin's not on the first side. Yeah, Broven. Another thing, I feel like Wu was pretty underrated in this, right? Like nobody really talks about it because we've become so accustomed to it. But in Wuwa, teams consist of only 3 characters instead of 4. So you're able to make significantly more teams with less amount of limited characters, since you use 3 for a team instead of 4 for a team. Yeah, I know Flogon. Yeah, 100% guaranteed is 100% like way better. Of course, I will say, like without a doubt, signatures in Wuwa are usually more important than signatures in Honkai Star Rail. Like I'm not gonna pretend it isn't, right? But I still do think 100% guarantee is way better. If HSR had three teammates, it'd probably be like sustain, support, DPS. Like it'd be pretty straightforward. Why did Fei Xiao have to be a battle pass? You wish HSR had 6 member teams? Really? Why? That sounds like a lot. Bro, if there were 6 member teams, you probably wouldn't be able to clear MOC for like an entire year or something. Like, it would be like a long ass fucking time. Yeah, it would become even more expensive to clear endgame. Getting the battle pass right now feels like buying a subscription for OnlyFans. The only reason I get the battle pass, it's literally like 9 pulls. I think it's like 9 pulls. You get 680 for buying it, and I think you get like 5 limited pulls down the line. Let me see. Is it here? Yeah. There's one here. There's two, four. Oh wait, is it 8 pulls for the battle pass? It's actually less than I thought. I thought it was like 9 or 10. Nice one, Albie. No, I'm literally the exact same, Broven. I'm the exact same. Like, I have most of the 1.0 map as well cleared, but like, unless I'm really desperate for Asterite, I will not go out of my way to like sweat exploration, right? Like, I did it to get Carlotta, but literally the second I got Carlotta, I stopped. I don't think we have any info on the Kafka skin, unfortunately. Unfortunate, Exodius. The Remembrance Lycone is the second best option for the Herda. Like, even at S1, I'm pretty sure it's still the second best option. And then at S5, it's a lot closer to the signature. Like, the signature and S5 Erudition Battle Pass Lycone is like 10% difference. It's like the same as Firefly with and without her Lycone. But the skill point, man, I know. That's how they get you, bro. That's how they get you. They've realized that quality of life and like skill point positivity for characters makes people want to really pull on a light cone. They did it for Sunday, now they're doing it for the Herda, man. If you want that skill point, you're gonna have to shove up your jades. You're gonna have to pay for it. I agree. 2.0, they really stepped it up. Though I will say, Mount Firmament in specific is still like my favorite like area in the entirety of Wuwa. That's one of the most colorful areas in the entirety of the game. I must have it. Nice. I hope you get it, man. The Lycon design in this game is so ass. Like sometimes you need to pull for character sig. Yeah, I will say I do think this game it would be way cooler if like all characters had like a weapon, right? And like there was genuinely like very good designs for the weapons. Like I truly believe Hawkeye Starro could knock out weapon designs like out of the park. But instead we just get like these pictures. It's literally just art, right? There's nothing wrong about it. Like it does look decent, but I think weapons specifically for characters would look a lot better. I mean, I don't care, Blad. I really don't care. Like a lot of people like say something's a copy of another thing, but if I like Wuwa's Mount Firmament way more than I like Dragonspine and Genshin, then I don't even care if it's a copy. At that point, it's just an improvement. You prefer Lycones? A lot of you guys prefer Lycones, really? Oh, 100% Shark. Really hope Vivi is gonna be a Jin Shi buffer slash sub DPS like Chang Li, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, maybe. She is supposed to be dot related, right? And the Radiance Spectro set is for her. It seems like she will be a sub DPS, but whether or not she's like a support for someone else is questionable, I think. Oh, really, Albi? Oh. I didn't know about that. It's all good. I can't read every single message. It's all good. Sometimes I like miss them. I swear it's not on purpose. I'm sorry if like sometimes I don't read messages. You said you would probably bet on Sunday's Lycone over Castress's Lycone, but like most likely they're gonna make her need her Lycone like Acheron. No, I mean they could, but the thing is that Sunday's Lycone is so like inherently important. Like it makes such a big difference that I'd still rather go for his Lycone over Castress's, right? And either way, I could end up just getting Castress's Lycone because she should be fine at E0S0 for quite a while, right? Like, let's be honest, not Castress. Acheron was fine for quite a while without her Lycone. And once again, you could make up for the no Lycone with like a Zhao Q. You know what I'm saying? So if I just get the Lycone with Sunday, make him skill point positive and able to spam the skill over and over again, I think that will overall just add more value. And on top of that, I can always put Sunday in like future comps. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Sunday's Lycone is a complete game changer. He generates like more skill points than Sparkle, has just way better buffs in general. And since he's like a summon buffer, like it's gonna be even better. I actually want to see the specifics of Sunday's Lycone. Because I don't fully remember it. Let's see. Why can't they just show me the actual like what it does? Like, what's with these articles on a Lycone just not telling you what the Lycone does? All right, here we go. So after the wearer uses skill or ultimate on an ally character, the wearer regenerates 6 energy, and the ability's target receives 1 stack of him for 3 turns, stacking up to 3 times. Each stack increases damage dealt by 15% and additionally recovers 1 skill point after every 2 instances of skill or ultimate the wearer used on one ally. So it gives more damage bonus. It recovers energy better, and it also makes him skill point positive. Like that light cone is just brother. That light cone is a bit, you know. I like my Broven. I'm not gonna lie. That's genuinely something I cannot plan for. Like I cannot tell you what I'm gonna do if Sunday wants to be on both of their teams. I genuinely do not know what I'm going to do. I was actually thinking about it, like, because I always like pre-plan everything. I instantly think like, oh, I could use this alternative for my day. But like right now, we don't know anything about my day, and there isn't another imaginary harmony in the game. I'm pretty sure that's like at least limited and good. And I want to run both my day and Castris. It's like, oh my, it's just annoying, man. It's annoying. I don't want to pick one, guys. I don't want to pick one. One has a massive undead dragon, and the other one has like the sickest design that resembles Gilgamesh. And he's like a Spartan warrior. Like, oh, why do I have to choose? Well, yeah, but the problem is, Jeshua, that according to the leakers, you want to run both Remembrance MC and Sunday together with Castris. Like, it isn't like you just put one on her, like, you put both on her. And then you run her with a sustain. So that's like her most optimal team is Sunday Remembrance MC plus sustain, is what the leakers are saying. So I'm just hoping that there's maybe like a harmony in like 3.3 or 3.4 that will allow me to like also use Sunday on Caster's team, and then like maybe that harmony's good for my day. Oh, I see Exodius. Yeah, yeah. I think I got it. Yeah, like they have special conditions that you need to like unlock their full potential. Yeah, that does seem worse. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Castris, you play really, really low speed. What sustain ideally? I think Ling Sha. Until we get a new sustain in the future, I think it'll be Ling Sha for Castris and like Luocha for my day. Or the 4-star in the future. Like we're getting a 4-star sustain apparently somewhere in like 3.0 or 3.1. So that'll probably be like my day's best in slot sustain as well. Apparently that sustain is better than Luocha, by the way. Like according to the leakers, a 4-star sustain that we're getting like 3.0 or 3.1 will be better than Luocha for my day. Wonder if the 4-star is Rekka? A lot of people are saying that because of the fact that the leakers specified that they have a 4-letter name. Like it does make the most sense for Rekka. And Rekka always did have like a design that stood out for like a random event. Like he's not a normal NPC. New healer better be in his banner. Hopefully, that would make sense. He literally has YouTube eyes. I mean, to be fair, like I know I am one against power creep, but like Luocha wasn't Luocha like the first limited sustain ever in the game? Like at this point, we just kind of gotta expect it at this point, right? Like we're going into the 3.x patches, like it's not crazy for a 4-star to be better than him. Like even Gallagher is arguably better than Luocha, just not in raw healing. But like as an overall universal unit, like Gallagher is very arguably better than Luocha. Please, not another. I don't think he'll be break. I don't think it exactly makes sense to make him break. Especially considering the last 4-star sustain that we got was also break. Like I don't think they'd make him break. Who's Lycone? Exodius? My Day's Lycone doesn't give any break effect at all. My Day's Lycone gives him more max HP and increases his healing. Unless you're talking about Gallagher's. Gallagher's, yeah, the Gallagher's Lycone gives him break effect. Are you talking Rekka? Does Rekka have a Lycone in this game? I don't know. Does Rekka have a Lycone in this game? I don't see it. It's abundance. Do I not have it? I don't think I have it. Go to databank. Lycones abundance. Oh, it's this one. Increases the wearer's speed by 8% after attacking enemy targets that are weakness broken. Regenerate 3 energy. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it is possible that this just isn't for him though. Like for example, aren't we getting like a Lycone that has Fei Xiao's art on it, but it's like for an entirely different path that has nothing to do with Fei Xiao? Like, it's completely possible that this has nothing to do with his actual like in-game character. Yes, same with Moe's. Yeah, exactly. Like, Lycone art isn't really like a good way to judge anything. Same for Phenon, same with Moe's. Yeah. Bro, I hate gacha Lycones. Like, am I the only one, man? Like, I only have one trend, and I don't think I have a single DDD. Like, I have an S5 Pearls. But, like, oh my god, I hate pulling for Lycone banners, man. I have one trend on my entire account. An S5 of what? Wait, I do? Oh, I didn't even notice. It's on Harmony. I've never used Harmony MC in my life. Why is this on him? I've literally never used Harmony MC. I've literally never used Harmony MC. Wait. Oh, shit. Well, hey, that's a good thing to know. Now that I know. That's going to come in useful in the future. You got 2 more? Is it down here? Nice, nice. 2 DDDs, 2 DDDs. Give me? I didn't even realize because I've literally never looked at my Harmony MC in my life. I don't know what I'm doing. Now that I think of it, what does my Harmony MC even have? Is he leveled up at all? He's level 80 with 110 break effect. Let's see the relics on him. Ooh, that's a bit scuffed, eh? That's just a little bit scuffed. Ooh. Oh goodness. Oh no. Wow. I mean, yeah. I don't know why I have it on Harmony. Like I even have his brother. Oh my goodness. Ignore the E6. I don't give a shit about E6. No, don't say anything. Don't say anything. I'm like 3 Penacony quests away from being able to get his E6. I'm never gonna get it. Give it to us, Gabby. We saw it for you. Hey, if you could trade in this game, I'd give that S2 DDD for free. That is actually vile. Bro doesn't play the game. Hey, I'm close though. Look, look, look. Where is it? When I was thinking of going for the break team, I was actually like farming Penacony Loki. Wait, what? And I'm like level 38 on the thing. I'm pretty sure. I think I'm like level 38 in this, and the max is 40. Not even E6. You fell off. Guys, please, please. Look at this. Look at this. 48. And I'm 410 credits in. I'm only like a few quests away from hitting 50. I'm too scared to superimpose my DDDs. I mean, that makes sense. Like, I have seen some people who can still get like really good clears with like S2 or S3 DDDs. Like, you don't have to get it at S5. You are literally 4 chests away. Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. I'll get it in the future if I ever go for a break team, which I probably never will. And anyways, right? Anyways, I'm probably going to be using Remembrance MC for my casters. I don't even know if DDD will be good on Remembrance MC. I'm not sure about that. Oh, wait. Remembrance MC can't use DDD. I'm stupid. It's Harmony only. I'm retarded. Yeah, I know. I instantly caught myself on that. Doing side quests without the skip button sucks, bro. They're so long. Like, these Penacony ones, like, I'm talking like 15, 20 minutes of dialogue. Like, you barely even do anything. And you get, like, nowhere. No, I don't have any like, this is why, like I mentioned, I'm struggling on my account. If I had Jiaoqiu for my Acheron, or any of the break DPSs, MOC right now would not be an issue for me. Like, it just wouldn't. But I don't have a single break DPS or Jiaoqiu for my Acheron. And I lost a 50-50 on Sunday as well. So, like, it's not even like, oh, should have got Jing Yuan with Sunday. Like, it was impossible. I thought it was peak Coney. What do you mean? I've been hating on Penacony for a long time. Like, everybody's been saying, like, oh my god, this story, absolute cinema. But as a story skipper, I could care less about the story, and I don't even know what the story is. Neku. So, I got Himiko literally on Sunday's banner. Like, for my account did not have a Himiko until 2.7. So I had 0 relics for Himiko. She was completely unbuilt. And only yesterday did I, like, farm traces and farm some of the relic set. Yeah. So I literally haven't had a Himiko since, like, the beginning. No, there's no way I get Cypher for my dot team. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Cypher would have to be, like, so game breaking to actually make dot worth, like, to make her worth pulling for dot. Like, the difference she'd have to make is like what Jiaoqiu does for Acheron, but then you 2x that. Like, that is what Cypher has to do for me to pull on her for dot. Not really, Ko. Not really. Because Cypher's pretty decently far away, and there's already, like, barely any leaks on her in the first place. Like, they're all weird. Like, I saw one leak saying that Cypher might not even be, like, a playable character, possibly. Like, all the leaks around her are just weird. Dot will be meta again, for one patch, and then third form Dill and third form March 7th come out. And Dot goes to the gutter again. Is Cypher a character in Valorant? No, but Buffalo, like, this is a different level of power creep, right? Like, Jiao Q, like, anyone with an Acheron team, Jiao Q is just obviously a must pull if you want to make your Acheron team last. But, like, even better than Jiao Q is what Cypher has to be to make Dot good again. Because in the first place, Dot is just way worse than Acheron. Like, dead over time? Basically, yeah. That's basically its nickname at this point. How are these characters getting leaked a year before release? It's just their designs will be. Like, we don't have any kit leaks for, like, if you're talking about, like, Dill and March 7th. Like, we don't have any kit leaks. But when it's only, like, models or art, like, it's very easy to tell, like, when a character might come in the future. It's usually the kit that takes a lot longer. Like, you actually have to, like, start getting close to the character's release before the kits actually start getting explained and tested. What if Dim Leaks started doing Woowa Leaks? What, you want me to do Woowa Leaks? The reason why I don't want to do Woowa Leaks is because I can't give any actual advice. Like, I'm going to be I am someone who is like neutral with like everything, right? Including myself, and I can sit here and say that I am complete dog shit at Woowa and I should not be giving anyone advice for anything in Woowa. Like, that's why I don't make leak videos about Woowa. Oh, that would be nice, Flogon. That would be nice. It would be really nice if, like, because Woowa leaks take way longer than Honkai Star Rail and Genshin leaks. Like, Woowa's leakers are way, way, way slower. Nice, Albi. You thought it was like another Silver Wolf? Literally no clue, Ko. No clue. I do know Woowa's more like serious on cracking down on people who like do leaks, but I genuinely do not know why they take so much longer. Like in Honkai Star Rail, literally a month and a half before the characters actually release in game, you already have like in-game leakers, like people on private servers showing the different versions of the characters. Like, it's just way faster in Honkai Star Rail. Like, you could talk about leaks 24/7 for HSR. Nice, Albi. Yeah. I am really looking forward to my day though, like more so than Casterus. Currently, I don't really like. I'm confident Casterus will be strong, right? Like she'll be the strongest big DPS anniversary drop. But I'm really more interested in my day right now. Like I really want to see how he performs, and if like the leakers overhyping him is actually like making sense, or are they just like another damage per screenshot situation, right? Like when Fei Xiao was in her leaks, a lot of people were coping that Acheron was still better because an Acheron ult had more damage per screenshot, and it just looked like Acheron did more damage. But like in a Fuwa comp, Fei Xiao just does more damage. Like I wonder if it's gonna be another one of those situations where he's not actually like the strongest. The strongest in history versus the strongest of today. My day's gonna be the strongest in history for one patch. One patch, by the way. One patch, and then it's straight to Castris, and then it's Phanon, and then it just keeps going. Silverwolf is the best quantum ability, guys. Isn't she like the only one that's limited? Yeah, she is. Oh, she actually just straight up is the only one. Yeah. Uh, I might get the battle pass for the next patch as well. I'm not sure because I'm really thinking over E1S1 Sunday currently as like a real option. I can see the limiting factor of him just being that he drains so much HP that while you do a bunch of damage, you can only do like 2 or 3 hits before you get kicked out of the enhanced state. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Ko, and that actually makes sense because both his E1 and his S1, like the combo together, but more specifically the E1, it seems to be like a huge quality of life change for him. So for people who aren't aware, his E1 gives him like defense shred whenever he just hits on ult or his enhanced skill. But the most important part is that his blood pool will now also account healing into it. So without the E1, it's only when he loses HP, but with the E1, it's also when he gets healed. So the more you heal him, the more often he can get into like that berserker state, I'm pretty sure, and get action forwarded. So E1 My Day is probably going to be like the best possible case scenario. And then E1 S1 is like, that's where you get the absolute most value. Yeah. And that's also why double sustain might be really good for My Day. Because you can just heal and heal and heal and heal. And he'll constantly be in like his blood pool. Rip Blade? I mean, I think the moment we heard My Day had 25k HP, we knew his drains were going to be massive. Like, Blade just can't compete. I don't know why this game doesn't add HP supports. Like, they just refuse to do it. They'll add random nihilities that only benefit like a niche comp, but they won't add a HP support. He also can heal himself, which scales with how many... Yeah, I saw that. Wait, no. I think it gives... He gets more healing bonus the more imaginary characters he has on his team. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I don't think it's like healing himself. So like when he receives heals, there's an increase in it depending on the amount of imaginary characters on the team. Yeah, incoming healing bonus, yeah. Yeah, Joshua, I understand that. Like that's for sure like a concern, especially with like Phanon releasing in 3.4. But me personally, for at least My Day, right? Like My Day specifically, all like my meta brain is just being shoved out the window because I just like his design. Like I'm not really thinking about meta for pulling with My Day. I just really like the character. But I will say, like overall, the best like meta pulls you could do is probably like Castris and then Phanon. Like that's probably just the best possible option. I might be royally fucked pulling for My Day if he wants Sunday, because I'm also gonna get Castris no matter what. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. Like it's very rare to be able to do that these days. You can't do it with any reruns. But like My Day should be decently strong and still last like a while. So I don't actually have an issue with it as long as I have fun with him. Yeah, the memes for Blade are some of the funniest in the entirety of the community. 300k might be unreachable for me. I will dispatch of you in like 18 cycles. Like, it's really funny, man. Especially the ones with like the voiceovers. Yeah, that's understandable, Jeshua. That's understandable. I'm just going crazy for him because of the design. Like, even if his personality is shit, I don't really care. Like, he's just so badass to me. He reminds me a lot of Kratos. Because I've already mentioned this before on a stream. The first game I literally, like, ever played, like, in my life was, like, I think on my uncle's PS2, and it was, like, the first God of War. And Kratos was, like, my favorite main character in any game, like, my entire life. And like my day has like the same red marks, like he has the Spartan background, like it's very similar. I really like that type of design. Exactly, Exodius. I'm pretty sure my day probably will be muscular. I at least hope so. Like my day does seem like a very like muscular guy. Not to mention like in his base design, I'm pretty sure like he's like half naked. Like a big part of like his upper body is just completely showing. So they'll probably make it look better. Do you like old or new Kratos more? New. I like the new Kratos more. A lot of people are really like I understand why a lot of people like the old one more because he just didn't give a shit and he was all about just doing what he wanted to do. But I think the new one has like a lot deeper of like emotional depth to him, which is genuinely like a lot more interesting to me. Hope my day sells well. I hope he sells well as well. Yeah, it really is hype when they release a good one. Yeah, like Ito is supposed to be like this, like incredibly like built physical like bull, and instead he's just he has fucking noodle arms. Yeah, I can't wait for the beta for my day, man. It's exciting right now. There is like a 99.99% chance Sunday gets his rerun on casters this patch. Like no matter what. Like I think if we've learned anything from Robin, Robin reran within 3 patches for Fei Xiao, right? Like if Sunday is the best in slot harmony for casters, they will rerun her or him on her banner. Like it'll just happen. I do think the best case scenario at least would be like Sunday maybe on the second side, like alongside a Noxa, but you know, more likely they're on the exact same side. Triby's the first banner in 3.1. Exactly, Bacon. No one knows who the best supports for my day are. Like literally no one knows. We know in the future he's gonna get a 4-star sustain. That's gonna be his best in slot sustain. But we have zero clue like what supports you're supposed to use for him. And if you are supposed to like rely on Sunday as well, like I'm not gonna lie, I said this at the very beginning of the stream, but we need like a new Harmony badly, like fast for Remembrance DPSs. Like ever since Sunday released, he's been best in slot in like every hyper carry scenario where you'd usually put Sparkle or what's it called? Sparkle or Branya, and every single Remembrance DPS wants him as well. Like, it's getting a bit out of hand. Like, I don't even think Robin has this many best in slot teams. Like, going into the 3.x patches, Sunday might have like a larger roster of best in slot teams than Robin. We do need an HP Harmony. I'm waiting for it. Like, I'm genuinely just waiting to see if they add like even a single HP Harmony in the game. Or just an HP support. Like, there isn't even an HP support either. Is who good for the Herda Pro? Tribby? Yes. Tribby will 100% be the best in slot for the Herda. It's not even a debate. Because the Herda regenerates energy the more mobs on field you hit. So the more you spam ult on your other characters on your team, the more Tribby's going to follow up, regenerating more energy for your Herda. And then that also adds on to stacks, because Herda does way more damage at max stacks than she does without max stacks. So it helps build up stacks, and it helps regenerate her energy. And she gets 30% res pen. It's not as good as buffs. I was like, what's it called? Robin's attack, but Rose running continuously. Hey. Hey. Don't call me out on it. I do like talking with people in my chat more than like just randomly doing gameplay for no reason, because it's hard for me to think when I play and talk at the same time. Like, I'm just talking. Like, I want to answer as many people's questions as possible. Like, I'm mainly a Leak YouTuber, you know? Like, people don't exactly watch me for my gameplay, but for my opinions. Who's better for Herda between Ho-Ho and Aventurine? I actually don't know. Because Aventurine's follow-ups will count as like regenerated energy. So in my opinion, that beats Ho-Ho's energy on ults. Actually, no, I think maybe Ho-Ho. If you don't have problem with skill points, I think you go with Ho-Ho. And if you're having issues with skill points, you go with Aventurine. Aventurine is just way more skill point friendly in my opinion. Because Ho-Ho does apply her energy buff to everyone. So it can be pretty beneficial, if I had to guess. Yeah, Ling Shaw is the best in slot sustain for the Herda. Like 100%. It's not even close because she spams so much. Like, her E hits everything, her Fuyuan hits everything, and her ult hits everything. It's like a trifecta. I mean, I guess, but like, I have hope considering Tribby is a Harmony who does damage. Jeez, man. But Tribby's a Harmony who does damage, so I have hope. Yeah, Lingshaw is the best sustain for her to stacks, 100%. But between Ho-Ho and Aventurine, I think Ho-Ho if you're skill point positive, and if you're struggling with skill points, you just use Aventurine. Like, Herda is very versatile. I saw one of the shittiest takes ever, possibly, like, ever in my time playing this game. I saw a video, and this person was, like, giving their own opinion on Herda, and they said that she was incredibly unversatile, which makes zero fucking sense. Like, she is probably the most versatile DPS in the entirety of the game. She can use Gallagher, Ho-Ho, Lingshaw, Aventurine. She can use small Herda, Serval, and Jade. And for Harmonies, she can use Sunday, Robin, or Remembrance MC. Like, it doesn't get any more versatile than that. There's like 3 different options for every single role on her team. Keep glazing my girlfriend. Yes, yes. Yeah, I hope so, Paul. I hope so. But it could just be another Blade situation where, like, one or two patches HP scaling, and then after that, they completely forget about it, and we get no support. No, Sunday's Lycone is for sure top three Lycones. I'd actually say it's top one Lycone in the game. Like, for benefiting, like, a character, like, massively, like, on a scale of how much it benefits the character, I think Sunday's Lycone is a number one. Like you spam the skill constantly, you spam the ult constantly, you're generating SP plus more damage bonus for your characters as well. Like it's not even close. Even better than Acheron's Lycone, yes. Even better than Acheron's Lycone in my opinion. Like it makes that much of a difference to his playstyle, and the skill point positivity as well affects your teammates and how much damage they're able to output. Yeah, as well energy. His Lycone also gives a bit of energy. No, I understand, Albie. I know. Once I get Castris and Phanon, I'm gonna go straight back to saving my limited pulls. Like that was always the original plan, was just to get Castris Phanon and go back to saving until like 4.x or any like supports that they need. Like I'll get them, but I'm not gonna invest in like another comp after I get those two. Fei Xiao will 100% struggle in 3.x. At first, I was a little iffy on it, but after seeing this MOC and the leakers saying that all future endgame content will be more AoE focused, I am quite confident that at some point Fei Xiao will be like, it'll be like trying to clear currently with Jing Liu, basically. Like probably, unless they like make in the future like a hunt, like a hunt dedicated MOC. It just is natural. Like this is basically the natural cycle of Honkai Star Rail at this point. Like 2.x characters are like twice as strong as 1.x characters. 3.x characters, it's probably gonna be the same situation, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like midway to late 3.x is probably gonna have characters that are twice as strong as Fei Xiao, Acheron, Firefly. It just is what it is. Well, to be fair, Andres, like they almost never added ice weakness to any mobs in the game because Jing Liu was literally the only limited ice DPS in the entirety of the game. So like 90% of MOCs never had an ice weakness. And that would make Jing Liu like pretty bad. But this current MOC is good for older DPSs because of the trotters and as well as the fact that it's more like AoE focused. But yeah, Jing Liu has just been cucked by like the elemental coverage almost every single time in endgame. Yep, we'll be here in 2026 complaining about how casters fell off. Oh my goodness. Why is my March 7th dark form doing double the damage of my fucking what's it called? Casters. Oh my goodness, the power creep. I just can't. I'll probably make a video like that in a year. I mean, Acheron will probably get slightly stronger with a Noxa. Because you can replace Pela with a Noxa. And you can run like a Noxa, Jiaoqiu, Acheron. And then, actually, wait. On sustain teams, would you even put a Noxa? No, I'm thinking of E2S1 Acheron. Okay, I'm thinking of E2S1 Acheron. Yeah. So E0 Acherons, you're always gonna probably use Jiaoqiu and a Noxa together. But if you have E2, like it's arguable if a Noxa will even fucking replace like a Harmony on that. Noxa, another new name. March 9th, right? Yeah, let's just go March 9th. So, Jeshua, in my opinion, I think at this point it's safe to say, right? Like an E2 of a 1.x DPS is around equivalent to an E0 of a 2.x DPS. Like that applies to Acheron, that applies to Firefly, that applies to Fei Xiao. Like the only one that's even questionable is probably like Yunli. So I don't think 3.x will be any different. Like if you have like an E2 Acheron, E2 Firefly, what's it called? E2 Fei Xiao, it'll probably be on like the same level as E0 3.x DPSs. E2 Blade is Acheron tier. Like that's usually around what it scales to, in my opinion. However, then the E0 characters in the long run are stronger than the E2s because they get further support by future units. Like that's kind of the difference. So the E0s almost always end up being stronger than like older E2 characters. It's just that they get more support for a new team. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're going for an E2 on an old character, like you can also just get not even E2, right? Not, I wouldn't even say E2. It seems like Hoyo's starting to what's it called? Make E1 stronger than E2s with these 3.x characters. Like Aglaya's E1 is better. Herda's E1 is very very good. My Day's E1 seems to be huge quality of life. Like it seems like they're starting to lean more into E1s instead of E2s so that more free to plays can like get an E1 than be discouraged by like having to get an E2. So if that truly ends up being the case, like going E1 on a new 3.x DPS would probably be just a way way better decision. No, yeah, I know, Paul. On supports it's been true for a while at this point. But it does seem like recently like these DPSs are getting a lot better E1s. Like Aglaya's E1 is just easily better than her E2. Yes, Pro. Yes, she's also on HP scaling. Castris and My Day back to back are HP scalers. That's understandable, Albie. Hopefully, Paul. Hopefully. I probably won't be able to get it. I think I'll go like E0S1 Castris at most. Because I'd rather get E1S1 Sunday, right? I'd rather invest in a support than a DPS. But yeah, she probably will have pretty strong Eidolons for being a 3.x DPS. Alright, guys. I'm going to get off now. It's a little late. Once again, I always never eat before I start streaming, so now I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat something. Thank you all for the amazing talks here. It was a really good time. I'm going to get off now. Hope you all have a good day. Hope you have a good night.